Alrighty. Woohoo! This is going to be fun. What do we got going for today? Okay. Alrighty. Let's talk about Jojo. Welcome to Smudcast number 222. Why I don't like Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. And if you don't know the title of this video, this is from Cosmonaut. And he's got some very key words to say about everyone's, I don't know if it's beloved or just infamous anime ever. I don't know. It resonates on so many levels for people. That is, of course, Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, which is spanning, half a century now? 40 years? I don't know. It's been a long time since it first was published. And we're just seeing the anime versions therein. And we were just talking about this before the stream, that we're getting, what is it, number 4 or 5? I can't remember what version we're up at now. And it's called...
For Jojo?
Yeah, Golden Wind, I think, is the latest one.
Golden Wind is part 5.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's part 5? And that is
part 6. The next part to come out, when it comes out, will be part 6.
Yeah, so that means... It came out in the 90s, I think? Late 90s?
80s.
The first one.
86.
The first one.
Yeah.
The original Jojo manga, yeah.
Right. So we are like waiting at least 20 years for anime to catch up to the manga. And wow, they can milk this for another 50 years. I mean, this is going to take a while just to get through to it. The quality is there. The acting is there. The animation is not amazing, but it's on point. Like, it's doing what it has to do. And the story just breaks all the conventions of what is reality. Like, what is normal? What is a superhero story? What is a magical girl story? What is a story in general? I can't analyze this properly because it's just so strange. All the tropes that they throw in, all the designs, all the acting, it's just nuts. It's so crazy, it's so wild without going too far. Meaning it's not, I was saying this before, it's not like Excel Saga, which is so strange and weird that it's just crazy. This is all within a plot. So they focus in on the character, what they're trying to do, and they just amp up all the superpowers, all the
part 6 gets pretty crazy. I don't know.
I haven't gone that far.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
The manga is one thing, and it's pretty nuts as well, but the anime is just everything the manga is, with all the media you want, all the poses you want, all the sound, all the style, all the color, all the pizzazz, and the ridiculous, over-the-top explained fighting, and just it's just so much. Like, you just can't else be. It's like going to a musical, and it's all just loud explosions. You're like, what the hell did I just watch? I don't know, but it was awesome. That's the kind of crazy effect JoJo sometimes has on people, at least on me. So maybe it's different for everyone. Some people don't like it. I get it. Not everyone likes crazy, colorful 80s rock, punk, dance, rap, alternative, European, Japanese, something. It's got something for everyone that I can't quite explain what that is, though.
Yeah, I mean, but if you say it's boring, I'm just like, I don't know how you could say that. Like,
no.
Even if you don't like it, I'm like, are you really bored?
You can't be bored.
Really watch this and be bored?
Your brain is going to be like, what just happened? What's going on? Let me explain to you what happened. I remember a fight scene in Golden Wind, okay? So the main guy has a power that creates life. He creates life. That sounds ridiculous, but he creates life out of nothing or out of inanimate objects. That's his ability. Somehow this power gets amped up. I will explain how. He fires a beam of energy at a dude who can predict the future. He gets hit by it. This energy hits a tower. The tower falls and breaks into pieces like bricks. The bricks turn into scorpions. The scorpions attack the guy whose hand got blasted in a hole. I don't know, they tear his finger off or something. And then the guy controls time to prevent that from happening. And he then predicts the best time. So you've already got superhero powers happening within seconds. Time manipulation, time prediction, like predicting the future. And a guy who can control life. And he's all this while he's flying in the air. This sounds insane. Just as a premise, it's just like, what the hell are you talking about, Spudboy? This is nuts. And then you watch it, and you're like, this is crazy cool. It is so over the top awesome. So that doesn't do it justice. So I think you could watch it on just watch what the hell was the YouTube video? I'm trying to remember. What was it called? It was Gold Experience or the Requiem ability. That's the name of his
God Experience Requiem, yeah.
Yeah, his name of his stand. If you don't know,
Yeah, it's normally Gold Experience, and then it becomes Gold Experience Requiem.
right. That's when it gets amped up for that magical arrow thing. I can't remember.
It's the arrow that makes stands, that gives people stands. In
Yeah,
the
if you
first
don't-
place. So he already has a stand. He already has a stand when he gets hit by it, I think. Is the
Right.
idea. So it's like double stand. Like,
I don't know.
no, he's got like more. It's like more stand.
Right. So that's just one scenario, not even one episode. That's like a few minutes of one episode. And you're just sitting there going, that's nuts. But Dragon Ball Z can take like one fight scene and have it stretch between multiple episodes by itself. But this doesn't skimp on animation or storytelling and tries to play with superpowers and time manipulation and all the powers therein of someone's stand. If you don't know what a stand is, it's basically a persona of the person that exists in this other reality, which interacts with our own, and is kind of like their guardian spirit in a sense. It's kind of hard to explain, but it manipulates other stands. It can fight with other stands. It's a whole other thing. But wow, I can keep rambling on about all the characters and all the episodes and all the chapters of JoJo. But we're going to talk about a 20-minute video from Cosmonaut and why he doesn't like it. And that's totally fair. If you don't have to like anything, that's fine. Provided your reasonings are, they make sense. I don't like it because it's this or that. Give me a good reason why you don't find it entertaining, or you don't like the drama, you don't like the characters. That's fine. Just give me a good reason, and we'll understand where you're coming from. That's all we ask. So, all right. Yeah. Are you guys in the watch together?
Yeah, apparently Zach wants to join in.
Zach. All right, one second.
Zachariah.
Zach.
Personally, I felt like from part 4 it got rather boring because
Hello there.
it's part really stale for me. Like before, like Kira Gain, like I just couldn't care because it was a slice of life, and I just like.
You're joining our Smudcast?
Oh, you're approaching me. Hi.
Hi,
How's
Zach.
everyone doing?
Hey, so if you guys don't, you must have heard about JoJo in some capacity, Zach. I'm sure everyone has.
Yes, I actually have a few things to say about it.
Okay.
Oh.
Hot take, JoJo's shit.
Oh.
And I have a few things. Like, the storytelling is very, very contrived. A lot of the explanations for things don't really make sense. I enjoy over-the-top absurdity, spectacle, and all that stuff. But when it's not consistent, then it's just enough to take me out of the spectacle.
That's
to the point where I can't even enjoy the tism anymore.
That's totally fair because there's lots of inconsistency in the show, especially from the first few chapters about what's that power called? Hamon.
Yeah, Hamon is incredibly inconsistent.
The ripple.
And I'll even tell you like exactly where I guess the shroud was lifted for me. It's when Caesar died, and I was like, he didn't need to die there. And you also just gave me his backstory in the same episode that you kill him. All right then, and then his death just means nothing afterwards. And I stopped watching. I was watching with Berserker and Alexis, and I finally tapped out when Wamu got shot in the chest after the most contrived set of bullshit ever.
So you haven't watched anything after?
I haven't watched anything after that. It was that was like enough for me. I was like, this is garbage. God damn. I love spectacle. I love absurdity. But if it doesn't, like, if it's at least not consistent with itself, then goddamn, what are you doing? Writing's hard.
No, I kind of don't care. Like when
I
it's
agree.
JoJo,
Like after a while, JoJo is just
Yeah,
like,
that's 100% because like Bear said the same thing. He agreed with all of my criticisms. But he's like, yeah, but at the same time, it's just so crazy, and I just love watching the spectacle. I'm like, yeah, that's fair.
To me, I kind of watch it on almost like a fight by fight basis. You know, I'm not when I'm watching an individual fight in JoJo. It's like it's its own thing almost. It's like I don't care about. I almost don't care about any of the rest of the story. I'm just like, okay, how is he gonna defeat this stat? What is the like? Because it's kind of like it's almost like playground logic.
Oh well, I have this power now. Oh yeah, well my power counters this power. Oh yeah, well I focus really hard and I do this.
Yeah, but
I
it's
have a
not
shield.
just like I'm more powerful because that's Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball is just I'm just more powerful on like a linear scale.
Yeah.
But JoJo is like, well, you see, my cheese power allows me to harness the moon. You know, it's like,
And I'm gonna slap your
Because
mom's
I have
ass
cheese-
with the moon.
I
Like,
have cheese powers, so I'm going to cut a hole out of the moon with my cheese powers.
is that
and then,
Smuts then?
and then that will create a hole for the meteor to go through. Then the meteor that was going to hit the moon will go through the hole I made in the moon, and then that will hit the Eiffel Tower, and then that will tip over, and it's like, so it's that kind of like, it's almost like a Salvador Dali painting.
Yeah,
You know?
it's fucking crazy.
Where it's like, if you can have, it's just watching the sort of bizarre, just the reasoning, however mad it is, it's sort of like it makes sense in a way like where it's like if a child was saying it, you'd be like, I see what you're saying, I see what you're, but it's yeah. That's the fight. It's basically like it's like the plot is basically like the plot equivalent of a Salvador Dali painting. That's basically
Yeah, JoJo bad.
Oh, well, you got me there.
Yeah, once you understand that the patterns and tropes are just well, once you understand the patterns and tropes are just purely there for entertainment value.
Oh yeah. I understand it's there for entertainment value, but it's
Message coming in.
Yes, it's not everyone's cup of tea. That's the thing. It's so wild and wacky. You're like, all right, great.
which is odd because I love Dragon Ball Z.
All right, okay. That's
Like but like Dragon Ball Z has a lot of problems, and Dragon Ball Z is like horrifically written, but it's like I love it.
I find Dragon Ball Z so much more boring because it's all the same. It's all the same variation on. Well, you see,
Dragon Ball Z. I should clarify, by the way. Dragon Ball Z, not Super. Super is shit.
No,
it's so fucking garbage.
but it seems like all the powers in Dragon Ball Z are just like, well, my special beam cannon is purple. You know, it's like it's all just a big like beam. Like it's all just a big.
First of all, the Gallic gun is purple. The special beam cannon is pink
Bro,
and
I don't
yellow.
fucking know. Like it's all just big fucking energy beams,
fuck.
dude. It's all just like, well, my big fucking beam.
No,
is
it's
some different
different.
color.
You need to be an
Different. You don't
intellectual to understand.
You don't
Okay,
understand.
you don't have the IQ or the
The
martial
neon-
art prowess to understand the
The nuance of
complexities
my big fuck off beam.
and the nuances and the
dude.
themes of Dragon Ball Z.
The beams of Dragon Ball Z.
The theme beams of Dragon
The
Ball
theme
Z.
That should be someone should make a meme where it's just
Theme beams.
it's
Themes.
just
It's themes versus like
Themes.
objectivity or something.
yeah. The theme beam.
No, I know exactly what the meme should be. It's Piccolo, a special beam cannoning Raditz and Goku, and it's this film doesn't make sense. JoJo doesn't make sense. Themes just going right through them.
God.
well then. Let's get going. Everyone in the watch together. I think we're good.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a
Yeah.
double whammy for me too, because I also hate Cosmo. So
All right, that's good enough for me. Joe,
Yeah.
let's start with the super chats, and we'll get started because it's got 20 minutes to go. Joe Crazy, sucks that official translations don't use the original stand names because of the fear of copyright. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I don't remember.
Yes, they have to avoid it because it's they had some trouble with that.
Wow. The stand names are based off all kinds of different things. Like King Crimson, obviously, is the name of a rock band in the 70s.
Yeah.
Progressive rock, absolutely amazing.
Did they start in the 60s? Or did they start as early as that? I feel like they might have.
I know I have one of their albums. It's just been a while since I listened to it.
oh shit, I love
Late
this comment.
60s, maybe.
Berserk 850, Dragon Ball Z abridged needs to be canon. Yes, I agree.
Duh.
Also,
Really
Piccolo's the
unfunny.
best dad. Piccolo is best dad.
Here is Alex Halo. Dio hates JoJo, so hating JoJo is a reference.
Yes.
Whoa.
Hating JoJo is a JoJo reference. I agree.
Okay.
He doesn't
He's
hate
not-
JoJo. Like, he respects Jonathan. Like, if we refer to
He
him
does.
as
He
JoJo.
does respect Jonathan, and
Yeah.
it's odd because the way he starts to respect him is just a little.
Must be that hug on the Titanic. I mean,
Must have been
the ship.
hug. Well, yeah. Even the original Jonathan Joestar's death is dumb as fuck because
It is really dumb. That's not even.
it's
getting
really
to it.
dumb because like Hamon is never shown to be able to puppeteer a fucking corpse. So he just puppeteers a headless zombie to grab onto the piston of this steamboat.
Hamon definitely feels like it's sort of it's so
It's whatever the plot needs
Yeah,
it
exactly.
to be.
Yeah, it's so vaguely defined that you can just sort of. It's just basically imagination powers.
Well, it was like defined pretty clearly at the beginning of like it was basically like magnetism.
Well, it's like breathing. It's breathing.
Yeah, like if you breathe properly, you can go Super Saiyan. Like, okay, this is crazy, and I'm here for it. As long as like you stick to the rules of like, yeah, if you breathe properly, you can go Super Saiyan.
But it's not.
Like,
It's,
oh, okay, yeah, I guess
even
that's the
at
way this
start,
universe
though,
works
it's, like,
then.
more specific because it's like the whole like being able to punch the frog but not hurt the frog, and it breaks the stone.
Yeah, it's
Like
like
that thing,
transfer of
or-
energy and shit like that. Which I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so you're establishing a power, you're establishing a rule set, and you need to stay consistent with it, and they just fucking don't.
I mean, it's not like I feel like it was never consistent enough for you to be like, well, no, it's inconsistent because it was never.
What do you mean? Once they like,
It was never like that consistent. It's not like the Force where it's like there's
it's
clearly
the Force. No,
Yeah.
the Force is pretty. The Force
Where
was
Hamon is, like,
consistent.
Hamon. It didn't spend very long being consistent, so it
Yeah,
wasn't.
it
like,
did. Not, I think
wasn't
it spent like an
it's
episode.
been-
Yeah, it
it's
was like one episode.
yeah,
I was just
it's
like,
not
oh,
like
okay,
you're-
this makes sense.
it's
And then the
not-
episode,
yeah.
next
It's
episode
not
is like,
like
I'm
12
going to
episodes in.
hang glide off of leaves that I
Right,
tied
yeah,
together with
yeah.
Hamon.
It's not like you're 12 episodes in, and then it's like always. It never stays
It's
consistent for very long.
Hamon is like water. It's fluid. It's constantly changing, and you just don't understand the theme of Hamon. You need to be
Become
a real
Hamon, my
intellectual.
friend.
I will say the scene where King Crimson's he sees the future and it gets rewound because of Requiem.
Rewound.
He sees that mirror versions of himself, like the way that Rey was in episode 8, where she's looking at the mirror. Like it's that kind of effect, only it's fully animated. I was like, this is awesome. As stupid as this is cool. So there's some cool scenes that you just go, all right, this is really neat. Even though it's
I mean, the
retarded.
hang gliding with the leaves, I was laughing my ass off. That was so crazy. I'm like, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, where you can hang glide with leaves that you tied together by breathing correctly. Like, okay. Like, I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. But then it was when the absurdity crossed over into, like, character deaths. And I'm like, okay, Caesar was actually interesting. And then you gave me his backstory and then killed him in the same episode. Like, god damn you.
Message coming in.
All right.
Patching it
Let's
through.
keep going. Rowan Harushin, a stand is a manifestation of one's life energy. All right. Thank you. It's
There you go.
hard to grasp sometimes, but yeah, thank you. Jake the Surgeon, Hamon is a better power system than stands. Changed my mind.
No.
starting it off, it was fine, and then it got weird.
The problem
Okay,
was
but-
that like they totally dropped this Hamon, even though it only has benefits pretty much. So like.
That's odd because
you
I know
live
that
you live
once they go
longer.
into stands,
You-
it's like there's no more Hamon. I'm like, but
Yeah.
it,
like
Yeah, I
Joseph
don't
is the last one.
But come on, really. I mean, it's. I think stands make for a better like. It's just more interesting. Just be like, okay,
Message
well,
coming
this
in.
person just has this power. you know?
Patching it through.
And it's also good because it's not like in like comics where they try to have this sort of it's science fiction. Like no, like whereas JoJo, there's no pretext. It's just no. It's just magic bullshit. Okay, there's like
magic bullshit, everything.
yeah,
All right,
like
let's
this
go.
person can-
Like,
it just sort of goes like, okay, this person could do this. Don't ask why. He just can. Okay, like just go with it. This is just an ability this character has, and I quite like that because it's just sort of like it gets to the meat of like the question of like the fight. You know, where it's like, okay, here's the abilities, right? At the start of the fight, okay, here's basically what he can do. Here's basically what this guy can do. How's he
yeah, again, like if you introduce a character, it was just
Message
like, yeah,
coming in.
he can
Patching it through.
burp gold.
Yeah,
Like,
like what do you do?
why?
with that?
It's like, oh, he could just do that.
he can just. I prefer
But
that.
then
to
when
having
he,
some bullshit
but then
or
when Joe Mama burps, which burps silver instead of gold, and it's like, wait, why did you do that? He's like, yeah, I could just do that now. It's like, okay, now we're just stacking shit, and then he just like burp heals somebody. Like,
Hi, Joey Jojo.
it's just it's just odd, and that's where my suspension of absurdity kind of breaks.
It's not even disbelief because it's like
It's
that
not
was never a
disbelief.
question,
It's
right?
that's why I said
it's not
absurdity.
a suspension of disbelief because it never really happened. There was never like you don't
Meat and
go into
potatoes.
yeah, you don't go into it and go I it's so believable. you know,
Yeah, no, and I'm totally
Yeah.
fine with that. But it's
I
Cosmo.
Okay, let's go.
Anyway, okay, so
go,
you.
Seamus Moore, I could be pronouncing that incorrectly.
Say what now?
Seamus or Samus?
His name is Seamus.
Seamus. That's the name of the person who gave a super chat. Thank you. King Crimson is fire. I don't know if that's a JoJo reference or
No, that's
Message
what's
coming
his
in.
name, the other guy.
Patching it through.
Seamus.
Seamus.
well, in regards to the super chat,
Seamus?
it says Seamus, Seamus. What? I can read.
All right,
That's like saying Sean Bean as like
Scene Bean.
that's
Okay, all right. Maybe in Canada it's pronounced a bit differently, but that's fine. Anyway, King Crimson's
Canada's
fire.
fucking wrong.
I don't know if that's related to a JoJo or if that's a reference to the actual band because they had a bunch of albums, and I think their best album was In the Court of the Crimson King. So maybe referring to that. I don't know, but yeah, it's cool. All right, here is Fritz Philigenel. Thank you, sir. Cosmo, I'm going to roll over you. Yeah, okay.
roll.
Rolla.
Savardo.
Thank you, Fritz. Here's Jake the Surgeon again. Fun fact, the entire JoJo's 90s Over series is almost impossible to find, and that's the OVA, not Over series, which he corrects. There you go. So, yeah, this was a while back, so hard to find in general. Anything from the 90s can be hard to find. VHS especially. All right, Skids. He's explaining why JoJo isn't a beloved character. I mean, which version? I mean, there's so many JoJos. Which
one?
All 8 of them.
Oh yeah, Jonathan Joestar. Which one?
Jonathan Joestar.
Giorno,
1, 2,
Jonathan.
or
No, you mean Jonathan or Johnny?
There's too many. You're gonna go nuts trying to figure out who's who. Anyway,
At least it's not Fate. Alex Halo. At least it's not fucking Fate. Fucking. Fucking.
That reference yesterday to Fate, the guy was trying to explain why Star Trek was such a good movie, or wasn't a good movie compared to Fate. I'm like, whoa, this is not a good idea. Is that what you have on your board? Just JoJo references? Is that,
He hates JoJo, but he has all the sound bites.
I appreciate the memes.
The man.
all right, that's fine. All right, one more left. Let's get going. Road to Rushin. Araki moved away from Hamon to Stands because he wanted to try out a knee power system.
A new power system.
New power.
Okay. Also, Hamon was only really used for killing vampires. Yeah, but that was kind of the basis for...
It's not. Like, that's
was
what
like
I was
hard
saying. Like, I understand why he moved away from it, because it's kind of dumb to, like, have every character, like, learn Hamon. But pretty much, like, it only has fucking benefits. You live longer, you're really fucking fit, and you have, like, much higher strength, pretty much.
And
like,
Lisa.
Yeah, like Lisa was 50, and she
The ultimate mommy dummy. Step on me, Lisa.
Like, she looked like in her 20s, pretty much.
Well, yeah, wasn't that a joke where he's he's all horny for her, but then it's like, oh damn, she's like 50.
Well, like
this one is
I
he's
don't
coming
care.
back to
It doesn't
America, and
bother
like
me that
he
she's 50.
realizes that it's the mom.
It's like, oh fuck. Yeah. There's a lot of fucking Freudian shit in JoJo.
Listen, I just want Lisa. I was a simp for Lisa. As soon as she showed up on the screen, like Bear can attest, I was
Like,
a
oh,
simp.
shit.
Like, why are you 2D? Why?
Those 2D hunka-dunka-dunkaroos.
Mommy milkers.
Those milk bags.
No. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. Dollface. How dare you?
Wow.
Alrighty, so we're all set to go. Let's get going. Cosmonaut, here we go.
Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I love anime, and more specifically, I love shonen anime.
Alright, again with the vocal fry.
Vocal fry, I was gonna say.
Yeah. Also, Yu Yu Hakusho. Let's fucking go. I love that show.
Oh, that's the
Hunter.
fucking Irish character, isn't it?
I haven't seen Yu Yu Hakusho since I was a kid.
Hoity. Oh no, it's Yusuke. he's trying to beat me up, so he is.
I like you, Hakusho.
I don't like Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh my god, you sound like him right with the vocal fry.
Like
We
Zach
have
being a simp,
Cosmo.
I'm not surprised, just disappointed.
just talk from the back of your throat.
Why are you even still disappointed at this point, Hawk? Go fuck yourself.
Hawk is not here.
Oh, I'm disappointed. This boy is a sheep. Oh, ain't he?
Shut up, Hawk.
Oh, that was great.
Blame Hawk.
Blame Hawk.
Can't believe he did this.
Can't believe you've done this.
I can't believe you done that.
Ah, fuck.
Anyway, this is the reason why Cosmonaut's so popular. He does lots of clips very quick, and he talks over them. It's how all great YouTubers do it, and completely unrelated to the video. But anyway,
Fast cuts. Fast.
yes, let's go.
If there's a popular series out there, I probably have an opinion on it.
Ah,
but
fuck's
there's one
sake.
series that I have a very complicated relationship with.
Look how awesome that! Look how crazy that animation is for like 3 seconds. That was amazing.
I really hate how they dropped
No,
the
it's
entire
really
like
good.
3D openings, because like it looks so fucking good.
Yeah, it's
And in
it's
part 4,
outstanding.
they just returned to like some stale shit, but it's still good. But it's just
The JoJo openings were like primo.
yeah.
What were you expecting? Another hot take? Like, yeah, the JoJo openings were shit.
Message coming in.
Yeah.
Patch it through.
Here is Jake again. Yu Yu Hakusho still holds up pretty well. It makes me sick that Cosmo likes it. Hey, there's nothing wrong with liking something else someone else likes. That's fine.
No, you can't like the thing that I like. Now I have to go hate that thing and find something else obscure.
Anyway, this
anyway.
past 2 seconds were pretty awesome in this wonderful animation of Jotaro punching something. So
Damn, I can't believe this is the best part of the I almost said anime, but fuck it, I don't care anymore. Moving on.
all right,
Come.
let's go.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I do not particularly like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and this is something that surprises people. Because we all know how JoJo's fans are. I'll be on a stream or something, and someone will say, "Hey Marky, you like anime? You should watch JoJo's." And I'm like, "I don't like JoJo's." And they're like, "What the fuck? Why don't you like JoJo's?" No, I don't like JoJo's. I don't know. People just hate that I don't like JoJo's. So I'll tell
He's
you
not
why,
doing the vocal
okay?
fry there. Why do you do the vocal fry in your stupid fuck video? Stop doing the vocal fry in your video. Talk normally. You fuck.
Because when he's using the vocal fry, it means that he's very serious. You need to take him seriously.
Oh yeah.
But it
No.
doesn't really work out.
I was gonna say he has an annoying voice just because it's on the bingo card, but I'm like, nah, it's not annoying. It's just you know what it is.
It's not Linkar, so
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like a bad corpse husband impression.
I love Corpse Husband. I'm like trying to get into some of his stuff, but he's like
Sure.
old school. He's like
I thought
old
you
school
were
YouTube.
saying you were like trying to slip into his DMs. It's like,
Give me a minute and I will, but I don't think his DMs are open on Twitter. No, I'm trying to watch his content, but it's like old school YouTube stuff, and I guess I just kind of outgrew it. Just, the Let's Plays. I'm not really into them anymore. I like Russian Badger. He's a gaming YouTuber I still like.
he's a different caliber, though.
Yeah, that's true.
All right,
Soviet Womble.
let's go.
And this isn't going to be a formulated argument. This isn't a persuasive essay or anything. I'm not trying to convince anyone not to like JoJo's. This is just my super specific.
This is great. This is not a persuasive statement.
This isn't an essay. This is then why the fuck are you making the video? And why the fuck are you just look, man? If he is about to go into this and is just like, look, I don't like this because of X, Y, and Z. If it's all subjective, cool, fine, worthless video. I don't care. It's your channel. Do whatever you want.
Yeah,
yeah.
this
But
is
when he's my issue is when he starts making objective claims about subjective topics.
right. This is
It's odd.
this is what people do. Oh, this is just my opinion. This is a version of just my opinion.
Yeah.
Starting
Just my
up to
opinion.
to protect himself from future criticism. It's like, dude, if you're not going to make a statement, don't say anything. If you're not going to try to persuade me, why are you opening your mouth? Like, you're just describing the wall that is white has a very distinct white color. You're like, yes, that's good. You made an observation. That's all, like, that doesn't help. You're saying something. The rain in Spain is beautiful in the winter. You're like, okay.
On the plains.
You're like, yeah, things are beautiful. That's great. Or I don't like cheesecake. It's like, okay. That's like, we don't care. No one cares about your unfounded subjective opinion. Give us reasons why we can agree with you.
An example of what he could do is just be like, I didn't like this thing in JoJo. I think that X took this idea and did it better. And he shows an example of that and just be like, yeah, I just think this could have been done a lot better in JoJo. And it just falls flat for me. I'd
It
be
depends.
like, okay, cool. You got a
JoJo
point.
is
Yeah.
5 out of 10 because there's no tournament arc.
Like,
There's no tournament arc.
he could take
There's no tournament arc.
he could take the
Well,
fight.
it's just I don't mind the opinion bit, the subjective bits. It's just when, like I said, when you're making objective claims about something subjective, it's annoying as shit and it's infuriating because you're essentially just saying nothing, and anybody that disagrees with you is wrong. You are saying that your opinion is correct. I don't think any of us do that.
We try to justify
Except me, 'cause
why
I'm
we
right about
think a
everything.
certain way. I don't just keep saying Mass Effect 3's ending is the worst ever, even though I've been saying that for years. I try to justify and explain if someone doesn't know with the article I'm reading or with references to what makes a story work. So always when you're defending yourself, it's like, oh, please don't at me because I have some opinions that you might not agree with. It's like, your opinions are bad. I don't care what your opinions are. The justification's not there. And that's why we need those arguments. We need an argument. We have to say A is B because of C, or A implies B because of C, or B does not imply A because of C. Give me a reason. Then we can get to understand where you're coming from. Because all it is going to be is like, I don't like salt. You're like, that's fine. Why?
Salt is shit. It's like, I mean, salt's good on something. No, it's the worst thing ever.
Yeah, see, it's like, he gets caught up in his own taste, and then he changes his opinion. I remember we did a video last year, I think, where he pretty much contradicts himself halfway through the video.
Well, he does that anyway.
Yeah. Like, there's very little
pretty
thought
constantly.
into
He
editing his
doesn't
work.
like Mary Sue's, but only likes Mary Sue's if he likes them.
Yeah.
Ray's a good Mary Sue, but other people aren't. Like, he's incredibly inconsistent with his criticisms,
Right.
and it's annoying as fuck. That's a
So the
big
only reason
why I hate Cosmo.
The only reason I can see why he's popular is he does lots of cuts very fast about popular things, and that's all you got to do. Start a YouTube channel on Star Wars and do fast cuts, and that's about it. Just say anything you like. Talk about cheesecake for all I care. It doesn't make a difference. You're gonna be popular.
I will make a channel. I will change my content on my channel to cheese and Star Wars, and I will double my subs.
Yeah, just constantly cut every second and a half. Just boom, 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 boom. Different shots.
Hey guys! What?
All right, let's go.
Super personal as to why I don't like it. So just consider this a Cosmonaut rant. The name needs work, all right? Back in the before times when I was in college, I had a lot of free
It's
time.
not even
I
an
hadn't really
R.
started my YouTube channel for real, so most of my time was spent watching anime or
A lot of
reading
free
manga.
time in
And I remember I heard
How?
that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is finally getting an anime adaptation. And I'd played the old Capcom fighting game, and I knew some old ancient memes about the series, but I never started it. But that new anime looked neat, so when the first episode of JoJo's aired, I watched it. And I liked it. So much, in fact, that I decided to just go ahead and read the rest of the manga. So here's the first distinction that I should make. All of my feelings about JoJo's are mostly in regards to the manga. Whenever I start a new series and I am given the choice to pick between the anime or the manga, I usually pick the manga, but that's just me. While there are exceptions, I do find...
But that, god damn you! You can't even just say anything without just my opinion. That's just me. God damn it! It's like, you made a point. You made a point. You didn't have to say, but that's just me. You fuck. God damn you.
It's so irrelevant to like even name this because like the current David Productions and adaptation is just so accurate to the manga. Like it's very meaningless details that they have left out. And the other thing is that Araki is like right behind the projects as a consultant, and he is very strict on like what's gonna be how it's gonna be adapted. So. I feel like this point is pretty irrelevant to the video.
Yeah, we talked about before the stream that we said that the anime amps up what's in the manga. So the manga is fine. And then we just get all the media, the sound, the music, the voice acting, the animation, the great animation.
Yeah.
It's fantastic stuff. So
Yeah, I feel like you're missing out a lot
yeah.
if you don't watch the anime. I feel like you're
That's
missing out of
fine.
the
The colors are like
a lot of the
So right now he's just talking about like, I read the manga, and some, usually the manga's better, but I really enjoyed the anime at first. That's all he's saying, but I just was annoyed that he had to throw another, in my opinion, in there.
I mean, if what you're saying is like, if the story's not enough to carry it, because I think like the spectacle of it and just what is the crazy thing that's going to happen is kind of lessened if you're only reading the manga, whereas you can sort of get away with the story being more lackluster if it's just so ridiculous to watch, and I feel like you don't get that as much when you're reading the manga, and then the story sticks out more if it's bad in a written form or in like a on the page than in the spectacle of the anime. I think.
Yes, I think Mark was right. There is some discrepancy, but we're talking about filling in frames of animation between the panels on the manga, which you weren't expecting because you don't know
Yeah.
how they would draw. Because you see those crazy poses, like that's in the manga. Like the guy drew it that way. So,
Love the poses.
And the fights,
good.
like I some of the fights, I have no idea what the fuck was happening in the manga. And like if the anime wasn't there, then I'm like maybe my imagination is just like, because like Araki is like very crazy with his ideas. So like I don't exactly know like how the fights are gonna play out in the manga, because like
Yeah, they're a
there's
lot
like
easier
so
to
many
follow.
things happening.
all right. So he's defending the manga. Fine, we'll use that as a basis.
The manga to be the purest form of that author's creative vision. So I usually like it more.
Okay, that's fine, but that's not what we're just discussing, because we have anime as well as manga. If he's just want to talk about the manga, that's great. Then we'll just
He's
talk
gonna
about
use the anime in his video.
Yeah.
Though.
So is he? I don't really have an issue with this whole segment here where he's talking about the manga, but if he is going to compare the manga to the anime for the entire video, that's not really relevant to the conversation. Now, if that's why he doesn't like the anime, or just like that the manga's a whole lot better. Okay, where are your other videos about literally every other anime that does this?
I can do that with dozens of manga anime adaptations. So
it's
Axel
just
Saga,
it's kind
the
of a
manga,
nothing
and the
burger.
anime.
Oh, sorry, Mark. I kind of stepped on you there.
No, I apologize. I was wrong. But yeah, Axel Saga's manga and the anime is two totally different beasts. I
really,
would say.
I never
Yes.
read it. I never read it, so I don't know.
Neither do I. But like, it's the joke of the show that like, hey, we're gonna adapt your manga, and that they pretty much like assassinate the guy in the first episode. Like that's the joke, because like I think the manga is like serious, so.
It's kind of like the what is it? Is it the Ghost Stories dub?
Yes, it's exactly that.
Yeah.
Except that this is like a shitpost from the Japanese.
I'm sorry, we can never be together. Not because you're a rabbit, but because you're black.
Gay pajama.
What the? What?
You haven't seen Ghost Stories? Seriously? We gotta watch that, Zach.
Have you not seen Ghost Stories? Have you not seen the Ghost Stories stuff?
Dog, I was taking a hit of my vape, and you said that shit, and now I'm gonna die. Thank you.
That's a
They've
direct quote from the
also
dub.
they've also dubbed Cromarty High School. That's also a golden dub from the
Message coming in.
same
So by
studio.
that logic, is the Lord of the Rings books objectively better than the movies, since the movies are adapting them and are not the author's pure vision? Well, the books are objectively better than the movies. The movies are like 9 out of 10 though on the
I think the-
objectivity scale.
I don't know. To me, I feel like the pacing of the movies is better in a lot of ways. Especially at the start.
In pacing, yes. As far as character
whole thing
development,
where-
character motivations, and everything, there's stuff that's a lot more fleshed out in the books. The movies give more screen time.
I feel like
I don't want to go too far
at
into
the
this.
start, at the start of Lord of the Rings, the urgency is so much better in the movies.
Message coming in.
Because you don't really feel the
That's just
urgency
true.
at the start of the story.
Yeah,
And it's all
I'll
full
agree with you.
casual, and it's like, whereas in the movies, you're like, okay, I'm excited from the start. I'm like, oh shit, oh fuck, oh damn, it's all going down. Whereas in the book, it's kind of like, okay, we're just chilling. We're just kind of chilling, and I guess it kind of sets the atmosphere, but you don't really. I don't feel like you need to go that much. You don't need to spend like days and days and days just in the Shire.
Well, everything's more or less on a time crunch in the movies, whereas in the books, it's not really as much of a time crunch. They just need to get.
Well,
to
I know,
Mordor.
but I'm saying I like
like
that
the
aspect of
journey
the movie.
is getting to Mordor. They're not they're not in a super big race against time.
Like I'm talking about before they even leave, but that's what I'm saying though. I'm saying like I prefer in the movies the fact that it is kind of a race against time from the start.
yeah,
that's-
and I like that in the movies. I like that
that's-
better. Yeah,
One thing I like about the movies more.
Yeah.
And also Tom Bombadil it's a nice concept, but it's like
It's a
I feel like
subplot.
it could have been its own thing. It could
Yeah.
have been a separate thing, but it kind of kills the pacing.
It's a side story subplot which should have been its own thing. Yeah, it is a great part. That's my favorite, most memorable part actually of Lord of the Rings. But yeah, try to turn that into a scene in the movie would just waste time.
And even if you had it as a series, I don't
coming
think it
in.
would make a very good episode. I
That's
think it would
true.
just be like, really, we're doing this? It would just be like,
it would
No,
be
I'll agree that the pacing in the movies is better.
yeah.
it would be a mini series, and that would be that. That's fine. Anyway, we got some super chats to catch up with. Here's Mike Testa. Phantom Blood is definitely better in the manga. I've never read that, so I don't know. I don't know if anyone else has ever heard of it, but
It is. It's much more detailed.
First part of Jojo. Thunder Blood is the first part of Jojo.
oh really? Okay.
That's what
Yeah.
it's called. That's the
Man, I've totally forgot about that. Jeez.
Phantom Blood, Battle Tendency. What was that?
Stardust Crusaders.
I forgot the
Message
rest.
coming in.
Yeah,
Diamond is number
that one I
True.
remember. Yeah.
Golden Wind,
Stone
Stone
Ocean.
Ocean,
Steel Ball Run,
Jojolian.
Jujolian.
Yeah. what- That's the latest one, Monk. Yeah, that one's very different than the rest.
That's very different. Yeah, that's the best way to put
That's
it.
very different compared to the pattern.
4 balls, 2 testicles, main character.
He is
Yep.
like Diogenes, right? I haven't read the books at all. Not really.
Tom Bombadil.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess kind of. I mean, I can kind of see what you're saying, but
Well, I mean, he doesn't live in a fucking barrel.
no, but he is sort of like, I don't give a fuck about your like real world concerns kind of thing, or I don't give a fuck about your material concerns. He's sort of just like, I can see the parallels, but
Like,
yeah, he's just chilling. He's just vibing, you know.
yeah, Tom Bombadil is the
Straight up
epitome
just
of vibing.
He's literally just vibing.
His wife is nature.
Tom Bombadil is an anagram for literally just vibing.
Tom Bombadil is an allegory for vibing.
Vibing.
Vibe culture.
He's basically the god of his domain, and he doesn't really care what
To
happens.
enter Tom Bombadil's house, you have to submit your vibe check.
Well, okay. Let's see.
Message coming in.
Here's Jake.
Darn it, 4-ball run.
You want to be an Air Force Ranger? You don't want to get railed by strangers. All right.
Rolled by strangers.
Is that an O? This is an at.
Oh, wait. Well,
Get railed.
what is wrong with you,
It's
Jake?
like
Taco,
censored.
you Taco Ranger.
Pretend there's a big black man chasing you. Oh, what?
That's a line from that dub.
I don't like the dubs. I'm not a fan of dubs. That's I always watch the.
That dub is much
I
better
always-
than the original, because like Ghost Stories was a series that the Japanese were like was such a fucking flop in Japan that the producers begged the US to like, oh god, like just do anything, just sell this crap.
I just do anything, yeah.
And they did the best they could ever
I
did.
feel like such an outlier because I always prefer the dub over.
Well,
any
because you're
sub.
American,
think
that's why.
There's a point where the convenience of not reading subs overrides how good the voice acting is. Where it's like,
Well, here's the thing, though. I think this is a subjective point, and I don't know how it could be an objective point.
Mhm.
But I always find the dub voice acting better.
I
than
think
the sub.
I feel like Dragon
wow.
Ball Z is a really good example for this because Goku in the original Japanese just sounds
sounds
fucking
like a little
weird to
girl.
me. It's like,
Yeah.
It was okay when he was a kid in the first one. Oh god.
And then we just got like that's so fucking good. I love
it
Gohan.
sounded like he was saying he was coming. I'm coming. Please come.
Oh dear. Poor Goku. Anyway, Mike Testa.
Zach is wrong. Zach is a heretic. Sub is better. Look, I said it's a subjective point. You fucks.
What's the sub? What's the sub?
Well, you could have like said something that you can't read subs because you're doing something else while you're watching a movie.
There you go.
Well, that was Shiny's point, that the sub is objectively worse because he's usually doing something else. I'm just like, all right, that's a reason that you don't like it, but it's not really. It's
We love you,
it's
Shiny.
fine. Shiny's a good man. He's a
clone. Cheese triangle.
He is a cheese. He is a literal triangle of cheese.
A cheese triangle.
Speaking of cheese, my cheese part.
Shut.
Wow.
All right. Here's my test again. I'm glad I read part 1 instead of watching it. It depends. Everyone has their own preference, and that's where things get. Well, that's when JoJo was starting off. So it depends on whether you prefer the story in the written format without all the media, or whether you want the voice acting and all the exaggerated scenes and actions and fights. So it's really a preference. That's why I don't mind people arguing one or the other, but know what you're arguing before you say this is better. Because JoJo by itself is fun. It's entertaining. It's crazy. It's weird. If you don't have all that media, it's kind of like, what the heck what is going on in this manga? Like, what? I think I know what's happening, but it's so strange. So the entertainment value is not as high because it's all written, as opposed to having the media, having the exaggerations of the poses animated. Like, that's a big deal to show how they get there, especially when they end an episode, because they just continue the plot line from that one fight scene or the beginning of a fight scene. Like, that's a good way of making a cliffhanger, to have that pose, which they do in the manga as well. But it's just more animated. It's more than what you're getting than just in the manga. So I always say it's exactly what the manga is with more. So it's, to me,
Message
it's very
coming in.
complimentary.
Patching it through.
Anyway. Joe Crazy. Well, he's not racist. He's only 3 seconds faster. Okay. Was that in the dub as well?
The NASCAR community is dying. Repost, I'm a pride racist. to stop the NASCAR community from dying.
Oh, boy. Okay. Jake the Surgeon, thank you, sir. Japanese is just gibberish to me. I don't know how good the acting and ignore what they're saying. With the dub, I can judge the acting. Also, I can't stand Japanese voice acting. It really depends on what the Japanese actor or actress is trying to do. Because sometimes it makes more sense with the lip sync, with the character they drew, to have this is the attractive female Japanese character, or this is the ugly non-Japanese character. It depends on what they're going for. Sometimes it works, like with Cowboy Bebop, it works very well, and sometimes it's just preferable in the Japanese in the same show. So it really
to be honest, like, I just can't imagine JoJo without Dio's Japanese voice.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
It's so
JoJo.
iconic.
But it's not just that; it's also the holy shit. You know, like
There's
so many English moments.
English. Yeah.
It's that you just like it. You lose a lot of the charm
Yeah.
of JoJo. But
The other thing is
having
that, like, the
accent.
translation, like, I don't know, I've only heard like part one's translation, but they were like going for like Shakespearean lines, and I was like, what? Because like Dio references like a play from Shakespeare when he turns into a vampire for the first time. It was just so weird to me. I was, why is this?
All right.
JoJo's in dub is absolute heresy. I watched the dub. I thought the voice acting was pretty decent.
I think we've caught up.
Yeah, peak weeb though is watching non-Japanese shows in Japanese dub.
I watch K-dramas in Japanese.
That's going full circle. Is like when you watch like, you know, something like fucking CSI, but
No,
in
watch Korean
Japanese.
dramas in Japanese.
Whoa,
Watch Star Wars in
that's
Japanese.
hard. That's big. I've actually
Actually, I
watched that.
think the
It's actually
prequels.
so
I
fucking
think
good.
the prequels are actually better in Japanese.
They are. Like, the dialogue works much better with Japanese because it's It just feels like Lucas took like so much inspiration from Japanese cinema, especially
Well, he did.
from the
A
60s.
lot of
he did like hidden.
a lot of his work is based off of old school Kurosawa films.
Yeah, even like down to the camera work. It's
Yeah.
just so noticeable.
Yeah. George Lucas used to be a good director. Then he made the prequels. Well,
No.
actually, then he made Return of the Jedi.
He didn't put enough effort into hiring good editors or listen to his editors. So I think the formula that worked for the original Star Wars films were, I'm going to do this. You're an expert at that. You do that. You're an expert at that. You do that. And they just kept hiring good people.
Yeah.
And now that he has all this,
With Return of the Jedi, he more or less had the run of the show, and nobody argued with him because, Star Wars was already pretty established at that point, and I think we can all agree that the first half of Return of the Jedi is absolute garbo.
Even last
Yeah,
part,
pretty much,
half
yeah.
of the last part is.
Half of the
Pretty much, yeah. I just want to see Luke and Darth Vader do their
Yeah.
thing. And
That's
Like,
the only thing.
like it's so the ending and Vader's redemption and everything that happens in that throne room is so fucking good that it redeems it somehow that redeems the rest of the film. And I don't holy fuck, where was that writing for the rest of the fucking movie, Lucas?
we did get Slave Leia though.
Message coming
Yeah,
in.
Carrie Fisher
It was
hated
word
that.
for that.
Patching it through.
It's ruined for me. Slave Leia is ruined for me because Carrie Fisher fucking hated it.
Where do you get that from? She was the one who picked this outfit.
Interviews with Carrie Fisher. She fucking hated it, dude.
I don't believe you.
I don't fucking care. The horny
Well,
does not
you're
care.
You're just racist.
Yes.
Against white people.
No, against women. You're racist.
Yes,
You're racist
yes,
against women.
Exactly.
Okay, I accept that. What's your problem with that?
Racism is a prominent theme in Jojo.
Message coming in.
and
Well, there's
Cosmonaut
something
Variety
that
Hour.
we
Shoot through.
Europeans
Kick your
call
ass.
healthy racism, and I feel like it's like some part of us.
No, you're wrong. No.
You're wrong.
Okay.
Let's carry on.
all right. Jake the Surgeon, thank you. It's okay, Zach. They're too spoiled on simulcast. Simulcast? Really? To understand the true honor, the true horror
Simulcast to
of dollar store dubs. Simulcast means there's multiple people casting to their own social media.
No. It just means that it's released worldwide at the same time as the Japanese is released. So the way like Crunchyroll gets it like the episodes get released at the same. You don't have to wait
Oh,
weeks or whatever for it to come out.
I see. So
the
everyone
episode
gets
to come out.
licensed differently, and they do their own thing with it.
So it's like as soon as the episode airs in Japan, it's like available to like non-Japanese speakers,
Right.
subtitled.
Usually, they just hire one studio to do all the localization. So they say, okay, you're going to be doing English and French and German and whatever, if they paid for it. So, but even then, nowadays, you'd get the option to have subtitles turned on and off in whatever format that they would release the product on. So maybe not back in the day, but definitely after 2004 or 5, once media sharing was a big thing, and if the people who actually officially do it don't do it, then you're going to have fans do it anyway.
Okay, let's watch the video.
Yep. Oh, wait. Joe Crazy. Apparently, melodrama sounds better in Japanese.
Maybe.
Depends. Depends on the melodrama. Depends on the actual characters and the storyline. If it's a soap opera stuff, I don't know. I've never watched a Japanese soap opera before, but I can imagine they're just as corny, regardless of what country they're from. I'd have to watch one, man. I have to know. I don't watch soap operas in that regard, so I can't say. But melodrama in general, yeah, it could be. The Japanese are a little more subtle than the rest of the world, but yeah.
No, in Indian melodramas. Now that's
Ooh,
where it's at.
that is.
They know how to do melodrama.
They
The
are-
fucking editing, the editing on Indian drama, where it's like I am cheating with your father. You know, I'm cheating on you with your father. It's like, you know, it's just like there's like a 50 cuts. Yeah.
This JoJo looks so cool.
All right, here's
This is
Mike Testa
Joseph,
again.
isn't it? Yeah.
The JoJo
Joseph, yeah.
Blu-ray subs are just dub and sub hybrid. What?
Message coming in. Patching it through.
What is it? What is a dub and sub hybrid? I've never heard of that. I imagine they just do both, but it wouldn't be a hybrid. That would be weird. It's like they say the first few lines in voice acted English, and then they keep.
They
the
only
Japanese.
have the good English lines.
They keep.
So
Yeah,
it's
they
like
keep.
perfect. It's perfect English, right? Until it goes to like the holy shit.
Yeah, they keep that.
It's like perfect English, and then it's just Zaward.
We can't replicate that. It's too hard. We have to keep it in. It's like, all right, that's cool. Maybe, I don't know.
I have the racist button.
I have the hybrid technique. It's like, really? I've never heard of that. Okay, cool. Hybrid voice acting. Anyway, let's go.
And now, the 3 people in the world that are actually perfectly fine with part 1 of JoJo's. It's kind of cute and quaint, and even though it's ripping off like a million different series, it still kind of has its own unique personality.
Is it?
I mean,
Is it
I
ripping off a
guess.
bunch of different series?
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
I suppose the argument is like Fist of the North Star. I suppose.
Yes, for
well,
sure.
Araki was an assistant on Fist of the North Star. So.
Right. So it still gives a very different vibe to me, though. Than
Very different. Like
Fist
it's
of the North
definitely.
Star. But I can see
Jonathan is definitely not the Kensho.
similarity, but it's in terms of the. But it's just not. It's not really the same, and the concept isn't really the same. It's just some stylistic things here and there, like the character designs.
Both of them use some kind of kung fu that is like.
But, I mean,
yeah. that's
Saying the
it.
character designs are similar is like saying literally every superhero is just a superhero. It's just well, look, it's a big muscular guy. You've stolen the character design. It's kind of yeah.
Here's Mike Test again. The sub is awful on Blu-ray because it's lazy. Either it's a direct
Message
literal
coming in.
translation,
Patching it
and they
through.
don't try to make it sound like an English sentence, or they're using different versions of the word.
I think it's the subs is just the dub script
Yes.
rather than reflecting what they're actually saying in Japanese. So the sub doesn't reflect the differences between the dub in terms of the script, and that is changed to match the lip flaps and everything. So it doesn't reflect that it's different. It just sort of goes, well, here's the same script they've used for the dub. So you lose some of the nuance, I guess.
Okay, I see what you're saying there. All right, it really depends on the studio and who's in charge. So, again, I don't listen to studios. I just focus on the actual fan translations, and that's why I'm a sub guy, because you get them faster. You don't alter the audio or video. You just keep everything as you got it when it gets released on DVD, and that's it. They just produce a script. You copy that over.
Gigok has a really good video about fan subbing.
Well, I was around during the 90s, so I had some really, really bad, like people that didn't have proper mics. They were talking in the background. They just say your line. It's like, what? Like it's really bad. But that's the only way we got some translations.
Message coming in.
So,
Patching it through.
that was really rough though. Nowadays it's very, very professional. You actually have these subgroups or dub groups that do it for free.
The age of the yellow subs.
Yeah. All right. Mike Testa, it's a combination of both plus bad localization. Okay, so it's all these things. Yeah, that sounds really bad. I have not watched much anime in the past year, so I can't say what the standards are these days. But these are all from independent amateur groups. It's not from professionals, so probably a different standard for me. Anyway, let's go.
Overall, on part 1 to be an acceptable introduction. It's also not very long, so it doesn't overstay its welcome. I figured the series has a lot of room to grow, and it drew me in and got me excited to read actual good JoJo's next. So when I got to part 2, I got exactly what I wanted. It was such a dramatic improvement over part 1, and I love that the new protagonist, Joseph, was the complete opposite of our last hero, Jonathan. And it was just a lot of fun watching a silly man go on.
Does anyone really like that character for JoJo?
I did. Like, I like Joseph's character, but like I wouldn't say he was the complete opposite of Jonathan.
Oh, I think he's quite different, though. I mean, he is like he's sort of cheeky. And he sort of
in that aspect,
he
but like
gets
he was still like
over on
good-hearted and
people.
such.
Like he's more sort of like, and the running away thing, you know, the sort of no, fuck that, I'm just gonna run away. That's completely not what Jonathan Joestar would do, because he's all like honorable and stuff, has a sense of honor. Whereas I think Joseph is a lot more open to just accepting when he's out of his depth, and he's a lot more just like, nah, fuck it. No, he's got more of a self-preservation instinct in it.
It's kind of goofy. It's kind of like, okay, this is weird. He just runs into something and then he gets the hell out of there, or gets caught up in something. You see somebody he doesn't like, he runs away. It's kind of, different character, just different tone of protagonist as a result of that.
Your next line is, "I was only pretending to be retarded."
I was only pretending to be retarded. Whoa!
Yes.
The way he kills the fucking vampire in the beginning. But the way he like he fully breaks out the fucking is it like the Tommy gun?
The Tommy gun, yeah.
He just fully shoots up the place. Oh, it's so funny because you go from like how intimidating vampires seem in part 1. And then the way he kills the vampire, he just whips it out.
Okay, that didn't work. Have some grenades.
So the way he tries to, oh my god, Joseph was like just his ingenuity and stuff, and his sort of like, even if it was so over the top and like, okay, how could he possibly have planned that and stuff? It's still just so I think that really was better than the first part in terms of making you just go, "Are you fucking serious?" You know, like all the fights are like, "Are you fucking serious?" Like that's like how.
When he tries to like escape from Vam, it's just crawling slowly.
Yeah.
Caesar and like I think Speedrun is just saying like, "Oh, I can't believe he's leaving us here." So good.
The Joestar family tradition. The family
he passes it down to Jojo.
Yeah, that's so good.
Krista.
And then obviously Joseph stays around for more parts, which also makes him more.
He was like a fan favorite. Like they really loved the character. So, well, yeah, but that's gonna be like some later parts. Yeah.
All right.
On a bizarre adventure. This was everything that I imagined back when I heard about JoJo's in my niche internet anime circles. However, some things still didn't totally vibe with me 100%. For one, I don't really care for the way Araki writes characters. While I love Joseph, I can't say I feel anything for anybody else. When characters die, I feel nothing. Their backstories are bland, if they even have backstories, and their personalities are just not very engaging.
Bland.
Okay, well that's, I mean,
their backstory. What? You think the fucking like stone, like god? Yeah, like I don't think they're bland. Do you think they're bland? That seems like sort of insane lore shit.
Yeah, he has to be specific at what he finds bland, because there's so many characters in JoJo. They're so strange, and they come in, some of them die, some of them get reborn, and all this other crap. So you gotta like, okay, which ones are bad? Just tell us which season, you know, these guys, just say why. Great. Because there's all kinds of characters, all kinds of shows and mangas that I don't care for. But tell us why. Don't just say in general, please.
the time. The Pillar Men were threatening, but they weren't nearly as fun to watch as Dio from the previous adventure. But hey, I kept going because I knew Dio was going to come back, and after all, I'd seen so many people claim that Part 3 is where Jojo
play the
really
fucking
starts.
Pillar Man
So
music.
I figured it was all uphill from here. But I was wrong, because
Where's
Part
Zach when you
3
need him?
kinda stinky. I think it has most things that I hate in a long-running shonen series. It's bloated and super long for no reason, and again, the characters are just not doing it for me.
For no reason.
Why are those reasons?
I mean, Dio's cool and all, but like the Pillar Men are fucking cool. The Pillar Men are like so they're so entertaining. You know?
They
And
are. They are. Like,
they
part
got the
1 Dio was
poses for
okay, but like
days.
part 3 adds to them.
Yeah, Dio's not really like Dio in Part 3 is really the iconic Dio, I
Yeah.
think. Although I suppose Part 1 has the more iconic like it was me Dio
Yes.
thing. So that's like the iconic thing from there. But I think Part 3 Dio has more because he has the putting like repeatedly putting Polnareff down the steps
Yes.
just to flex, you know. And what do you call it? Yeah, the road run. Zaward. Yeah. So it's so many like iconic moments, you know, with Dio. But come on, the Pillar Men are fucking iconic, man. They're fucking they're so entertaining. And they have that music, you know, that theme
That
that comes
Egyptian.
on every time. It's like I suppose he's talking about the manga, I guess. So I mean,
Right.
but I think you can hear that when you read the manga. You can
Yeah.
it's implicit. It's
just
implied.
like reads like yeah.
Yeah, you're reading it. You're just like yes, yeah. You know, it just happens in your head naturally.
menacing.
Medicine.
Except I'm the main character doesn't have the fun charisma that the last JoJo had. Yeah, Jotaro is like a cool guy, but he kind of falls flat in this story.
Wow.
There really just aren't enough.
I think he's the most popular JoJo.
He is, yeah.
All right. I mean, he has his preferences. That's fine. But it's just like, okay, going against the grain there. Fine. Give me a good reason why you don't like him. He falls
Message
flat.
coming in.
Why is he flat?
Patching it through.
Tell me why he's flat. That's all I got to do.
Enough traits or characteristics to get me invested in him as the main character. If I look past the fact that he's just like really cool and edgy, then he's got nothing. And it's not like the other characters are very good either. The problem is, I think you can categorize most JoJo's characters in one of 3 slots. The funny, cowardly character, the
He's
calm,
not the
cool
coward.
guy, and the crazy murderer. But sometimes the crazy murderer might turn into a funny, cowardly character. And that's the
What's
closest thing you'll get to a
No.
character arc in JoJo's, because character arcs simply do not exist in this.
Wow. Okay.
Speedwagon was a fucking badass. Like Dio turned into a vampire, and the first thing he was like saying is like, "Come on, like Mr. Joestar, like shoot him." And like he like grabbed Jonathan's gun because like he was in shock pretty much. And, like he pulled the trigger anyway. He's not a coward. Like there was like one line that like he's like scared because like he just couldn't do anything. But like calling me coward.
I have returned what I miss.
Well, apparently
Part 3.
there's no character arcs
Yeah, no
in the
character
entire
arcs.
series.
In the entire series?
In the entire series.
No. All right, moving on.
Your Honor, my client pleads. No.
So we have.
I rest my case.
we have
Jonathan Joestar, great character. Tism as fuck, but great character. Dio, very well fleshed out character. Who's JoJo's wife isn't really
There's
fleshed out.
Taro. There's Josuke. There's.
I do feel like it's more the characters around JoJo that have more character arcs almost.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think Kakyoin kind of has more of a character arc than Jotaro, I think. You're right.
Jotaro only pretty much becomes like really likable towards the end of the series because he gets like more moments to shine, especially like the poker game. That was my favorite episode.
Yeah. That's
Like there's also like the great fight between Polnareff and Vanilla Ice. Like I didn't like that much the Dio and Jotaro fight because it was just like so over the top by the point. They're like flying. Like what?
So
You can see me.
here's Mike Testa. Cars is the only one who got his goal done. I know how he dies. I can't remember what the hell his goal was though.
When he doesn't die, he just gets.
He wants to become the ultimate being.
Yeah. He becomes immortal and unkillable.
On Earth.
But he gets put into space and then can't come back. So
I don't think that was his goal though. Like I know he created the masks and all the other vampires and this and that, but it's like, okay, what was his? I can't remember. What was he trying to do?
That was his goal, like become like the ultimate being on Earth, because like he wanted to become like immortal and like pretty much like everything. He can create life at the snap of his hand, pretty much. Right. But like he couldn't count with the fact that like because he's immortal, like he can't survive in space. Well, he can survive in space, but he just can't die. So it's like a never-ending torture for him.
All right. Well, I'm trying to remember his plot though, but it's Anyway.
Series. Gone on record saying that you don't need character arcs to make a story good. A lot of people cite Paddington as an example of this.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to argue you can have a good story without an arc, but...
Did they? I haven't heard of this.
Paddington Bear? No, I have no idea.
I mean, I've heard of Paddington Bear, but no, like I didn't know people cited Paddington as an example of a story that
Paddington is a Jojo character.
Paddington is a Jojo reference.
His stand is just fucking marmalade. His stand is Lady Marmalade.
Okay.
Here is Joe Crazy. But Polnareff isn't a coward. The guy tends to rush into fights. The scene he showed was him reacting to a pig in the toilet. All right. There's plenty of really weird scenes for characters to react to in JoJo. So,
also, I don't trust Cosmo's
Message coming
take on what a good story is.
A good story is TLJ.
I mean, I do pretty much
he liked it in cinema.
You don't necessarily need to have the character like change and be different at the end. I think you can still have like an interesting story that isn't about the character changing.
Only way you can explain that is if you break the rules of having a character arc. So it's like usually in a story, it's about the character growing. Whether they grow positively or negatively or in some neutral fashion, then fine. You can do this with your characters. You could have this plot surround that. The climax is him where he makes his choice to go either way. But if you don't do that, then you have a different genre. You have a different scenario. And you're trying to do something else with your story aside from tell a story about a guy changing. So what is the point of your story then? So he's right in that regard, but that's a very complex thing to accomplish and not what you do in JoJo. JoJo is not there to do something avant-garde. It's not avant-garde art. It looks crazy, but it's using all the rules, twisting them, and then breaking them, but not in the narrative sense. Not in the like, hey, we're going to have 20 minutes of a guy sitting in the corner listening to music like we see Shinji on the train in one of those episodes. I can't remember where he's just on the train and it's like
every second episode.
Shinji, get in the fucking robot!
Shinji getting your mom. Oh wait, spoilers.
Shinji getting your mom?
So
it's spoilers for the latest movie, Zach.
Yeah, so that's not what, it's not avant-garde storytelling. It's avant-garde artwork and fighting and powers and subverting all our expectations of what a superhero anime is. So that's JoJo. It's not changing how arcs are done, or not having arcs. And he has to give us a specific example of how an arc does or doesn't work.
No, he doesn't. It's a rant, Smud.
He's not gonna give any of those.
Yeah.
It's a Cosmonaut rant hour.
I don't know. It's weird though, because I feel like if I were to rant about something, I would be really like passionate about the details. You know what I mean? Like if I'm gonna rant about something.
See, that's why you're not Cosmo, and you don't have 1.3 million subs on YouTube.
He has that many? What?
Yeah, he's
Is
big.
it for real?
Yeah. Yeah, he's a big creator.
Big guy. Big cheese.
I prefer ER. He's
agree.
the only one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Smud, I meant to ask this earlier. How does my microphone sound? Because I tweaked a lot of settings and reduced the volume because I noticed I was very loud on some
You're fine.
Smudcasts.
I would have said otherwise if I couldn't hear you, but your volume's totally fine.
All right, cool. As long as I'm not blowing up people's eardrums.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
Here's Roan Hirushin. Thank you. Cars wanted to become the ultimate life form so he can overcome the weakness of the sun and live without the fear of it. Oh.
Oh yeah, the Pillar Man. Allergic to that.
Hello.
Hey,
A Satan appears.
Lit Dev. How's it going?
Fuck.
Oh God! Ho, ho.
Fantastic.
Yes. So,
I got you, LD. I got you.
Devil Summer. Oh,
They thought it was Literature Devil. It was I, Dio.
I mean, should I play Jorno's theme or the Pillarman?
No, the Pillar Man.
Pillarman, yeah. Pillarman's all you
So
know.
what is Cosmonaut saying? Is he right about everything so far?
Well, he says
Absolutely.
there's no character arcs in JoJo.
There's tons of them in JoJo.
No character arcs. Cosmonaut says so.
Oh,
But even then,
Well, I guess he would know or something. He's the expert here, obviously.
He knows because he has no character arc in real life.
well, even then,
It's a flat line like Ray.
well, even then, if a character does not have a character arc in a story can still be good, which I technically agree with, but not in your traditional sense of storytelling because that's something a bit more advanced. And the point of the story would not be about a character growth; it would be about a message or a theme or I don't know, a slice of life thing. It could be many things, but that's not what JoJo is. JoJo is like, how do I explain this? It's like pop rock.
I mean,
for
so you
rock and roll.
Like, for example, you could have like a story where the character refusing to change is what causes like the downfall of like their life and stuff.
Sure, but that
And,
would
like,
be
even to the very very end they don't change at all.
right. But that
So
would be
Message
there's no character arc, but it's
That's
still an
true.
interesting story.
well. That would be an example of a negative character arc where you see the opportunity for him to change, and he goes, "No, I'm not going to change because X, Y, Z," and it's explained.
But he doesn't have to become worse, for it to be an interesting story.
Well, that's-
he can just him. He stays the same.
He
It's
can't.
just the world around him that sort of crumbles as a result of the lack of change.
It really depends on how we go about the details of that event because there's 4 major changes in a character arc. So it could be a neutral change, but if it's a completely external change or there's a lack of change at all, like it just like doesn't even blip on like there's no stimulus at all, or the stimulus is so ineffectual, then you're wasting everyone's time. Like that would be a lack of a character arc, or the character is a rock and the rock doesn't get influenced by anything because it's a rock. I don't know how rocks would react to external stimulus or whatever. So,
typically they're cooking.
the rock is
Do
cooking.
you smell it?
Yeah. Okay.
Do you smell what the rock is cooking? Okay.
It really depends on the definition of character arc and what do you think of the choices, what a climax is, what a denouement is, etc., etc. And JoJo is not that avant-garde. It is stylistic to the max. So that is where it focuses on the
Pleasantly stylistic.
the exaggeration, the color scheme, the sound, the music, everything is just amped up. And it's a simple thing to understand. It's not complicated. So that's why I can admire it for the art forms it uses. But not in the story sense. Story sense is very straightforward. It's not complicated.
It's also bad, but
It's You don't have to like JoJo. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm gonna
yes, there
keep
is.
dropping.
You
I'm
have
gonna
to
keep
have
dropping the hot take.
If you don't like JoJo, then I have to think. I think there's something wrong with you. Right? I have to hate you or something. I have to call you like a racist or something. Right? That's the rules.
The actual,
That's true.
The
That's
actual
true.
result.
Because I don't like JoJo and I think it's horrifically written. I guess I'm racist.
So I guess I have to call you racist now. Going by the rules set by the TLJ defenders and everything, you have to be a
Yes.
racist or some flavor of bigot. I think it's my choice.
Alt-right.
I think I just
activist.
hate men. I think I just hate men.
Oh yeah, you must just hate men. That's it. There we go. You just hate men.
Well, specifically, I hate pillar men, but
Well, all it comes down to is you have bad taste, and I don't want to be friends with you. Like that's
exactly. There it is.
if you don't like,
If
if
you
you
don't
don't
like,
like Luke drinking blue alien titty milk, you have bad taste,
Green.
and I can't be friends with you.
Get the facts straight.
Oh,
See, if
sorry,
they-
I'm
if they had-
misrepresenting Patrick Williams.
See, if they had blue alien titty milk in JoJo, it would be fine. You know, it would be like, yep, this seems like a thing that would happen in JoJo.
You know, I kind of want to know, like, this recent, like, Star Wars comic book or whatever character, Geode, is he a pillar man or not?
By every technicality of the word, yes.
Mm.
I had defenders in my video that I criticized that character. Well, you didn't read the book. You don't know the character. It's like I read the
It's a
passages
fucking rock.
in the book. They literally
It's a rock.
said, "I can't pronounce his name if I have a mouth." And I was like, "What the frick?"
Like, all right.
It doesn't move. There are rocks in science fiction that move and gravitate and teleport and are telepathic and this and that. This is literally just a rock with no description.
it's Chewbacca if Chewbacca were a rock. That's his whole role apparently in the High Republic.
Oh,
A furry rock?
He's a navigator.
yeah.
It's a navigator of a ship, and that's basically it. It's just a co-pilot to somebody.
We don't
Not
know.
a mysterious little slab like in Space Odyssey or something. Is that a rock man like in what was it, the Never-Ending Story? The big rock biter guy? It's not one of those things. It's just a rock.
Like there are examples I
Dwayne.
was giving in the old Star Trek. There was the I can't remember the name of the episodes. It was one where Spock has to telepathically connect.
Yeah, the rock monster. Yeah, in the
Right.
mining episode.
right.
Spock and the Rock.
Spock
And I
and the
remember,
rock.
remember Bones was like, "How do I perform medicine on a pile of bricks?" Like or something. Like that.
Yeah.
He's dead, Jim.
Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a blank.
Not a bricklayer or something. Yeah, it was something like that. It was so funny.
Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a geologist.
So yeah, if you're gonna create a character that's based off rocks, and some of the articles out there were like, well, there's a theory that life can be based on silicon. It's like, yeah, 100 years ago, by some guy who didn't understand the properties of silicon properly. There's reasons why silicon did not be the dominant element for life, just because it's similar to carbon. It doesn't have the chemical, sorry, it doesn't have the atomic behavior of carbon. What's one of the problems is the shape of the molecular structure when it bonds with is 180 degrees, so it's completely flat, as opposed to carbon, which is what's the shape? It's like 127 point something. It's in a tripod format, so it allows itself to grow and change and adapt and bond with multiple kinds of organic compounds. There's all sorts of reasons I wasn't going to get into, but there's reasons why science fiction authors don't do that anymore, way back in the 60s or 70s, I think. So
That's all subjective, though.
Well,
you would think
that's
so.
like your opinion, man.
Yeah, the opinion
Yeah.
of chemists and physicists.
Everything in art is subjective, unless I think it's a masterpiece. Then suddenly there's objectivity that exists somehow. If you don't like it, it says everything is subjective. If you do like it, I was right. It's a masterpiece. So checkmate, chuds.
All right, so character arcs are okay if they don't exist, apparently. So
Paddington is the exact same character no matter what happens in the story, but the
You know, to be honest, I don't really go to JoJo for the character arcs. I go for the
Yeah.
I go for the fights and the muscly men and this brutal manliness. Okay, the testosterone. It's maybe not the best written thing ever written, but the fights are awesome, and Dio's in
Message
there
coming in.
for the most part.
Patching it through.
yeah, He is a memorable character for sure. So,
Dio.
Oh, that CGI.
here's Mike Testa. Play Ultimate Cars theme. I don't remember that one. What is that? Is that just the Pillar Man theme?
I don't know. I'm not trying to excuse Jojo, but personally, I don't the way it's presented. I don't think a lot of people go over there for the character arcs. They go over there for the fights and the monsters, and that's about it. Usually, it's just awesome. Like it's kind of what it is. It's very flashy awesomeness.
Yeah. It's amped up superhero stories in the vein of Dragon Ball, where a fight takes like a whole episode, and it's slowed down. It's like, oh, even though I only control 5 seconds of time, the scene takes like 2 minutes. So it's fun, amped up, crazy anime stuff. And it borrows from other animes that everyone can relate to and go, oh, yeah, it reminds me of Fist of the North Star. That reminds me
exactly.
of Sailor Moon for some dumb reason. It references itself sometimes. It's just a great, cool, crazy thing.
Although I think Jonathan Joestar, the first guy, the one who fought the first Dio, he had a character arc, and the other guy after that, what was his name?
Joseph
Joestar. He also had a character arc. I'm not really sure about Jotaro. He's kind of very stern and stoic throughout the whole thing. He doesn't really change much. I guess that's why they kind of shifted focus to Polnareff by a long shot. But
Yeah,
that was
Polnareff
the
definitely
problem.
had the arc.
Yeah, he was almost the real main character.
yeah, Polnareff definitely changed over the course of the story. He definitely had a character arc. I'm not really sure about Jotaro, but Polnareff definitely did. But I do know for a fact that Jonathan Joestar and Joseph Joestar both change over the course of the story. They had a beginning, middle, and end to the arcs. It all depends on how well they constructed it, but I believe they still had arcs.
It's kind of hard to describe because the events in JoJo, the reason why we like JoJo are the crazy fights. And with Giorno, as I was describing, that crazy ability for him to create life is so crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
it was weird.
It's so weird that it's like, okay, that is enough to tell a story. You have finished your job.
He turned his hand into a squirrel and killed everyone with it.
Yeah, well, duh.
Like that enough.
What's happening here?
That alone is just enough for me to get my attention to go, holy crap, what is going on?
Like it's not a scrumptious, nutritious meal. That's not what JoJo is. JoJo is like dessert. It's a cake or something. Like it's just there for deliciousness and nothing nutritious or of substance underneath really so much.
It's
maybe a little bit, but not. But I don't go there for the. I don't eat cake for the nutrition. I eat cake for the delicious icing. Okay,
like
that's kind of what JoJo is.
It's like watching those cake bake-offs where I want you to create the craziest tower cake you've ever made.
Exactly. I want you to make me Napoleon Bonaparte or something.
Yeah.
Out of a cake.
That's JoJo. It's this crazy bake-off of
Boner
just
Park.
people trying to outdo themselves with I don't know, cake layers.
I mean, they had like a baboon who ran a ship, and the ship was the stand.
Orangutan.
Yeah, it was an orangutan.
Orangutan that
Monkey.
I was in charge of. Monkey.
They had a villain be a monkey that was in charge of a ship, and that was a villain for a whole episode.
I think it's just waiting to see the powers. Like, what crazy power is the next character going to have?
And it's always pretty imaginative.
I think it's a combination of ideas and execution that are done in a very entertaining way that you don't get anywhere else. And everyone's familiar with anime as a medium. So when you see these tropes, you see these fights, you see these characters, like this is over the top. We get it. You don't go, okay, this is a serious drama. This is a serious romance. Like, no, it's not. It's supposed to have fun. And I think that's the appeal. People get the melodramatic elements, the flashy, colorful, very well animated fight scenes compared to other stuff like Dragon Ball, which is it also is inspired by, of course. But once you understand that, you go, okay, now I know what I'm getting into. I'm not going to be as strict as I should be with comparing it to War and Peace or the Scarlet Letter or something.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a masterpiece. I'm saying it's awesome and has awesome fight scenes. So it's different than the TLJ defense, where it's obviously a masterpiece when it obviously is not. It's missing a lot of things necessary to be well written, let alone some sort of masterpiece.
All right, let's keep it going.
Story is still good. Goku and Luffy are the most popular shonen characters ever, and they have the same outlook and personality from beginning to end.
No.
What?
No.
Goku went so far.
I haven't seen One Piece, but I'm pretty sure that's wrong.
That's very wrong.
No.
That is incredibly wrong.
I've read all of One Piece, and you're wrong.
Oh god.
You read all of One Piece? Isn't it like
Yes,
a million
I've read all-
volumes?
I've read all- It's it's 1,000. It's past 1,000. Although it's actually not as long as Hajime no Ippo.
Really?
And I think Detective Conan has more
Yes.
Yeah.
It is long.
as well. And
Is
there's
it as long as My Hero Academia?
it's way longer.
Way longer.
But it's very long. But it's very good though. It is very good. I know a lot of people I find are like, it's not even. I think now it's the length, but it used to be people who were just like, I just don't like the art style, which I think is silly because I think One Piece has great art.
They're trying to cancel the guy, the creator of One Piece, for the art style because he gave all the women in there.
Huge tatas,
Yeah.
ginormous bodunka hunkaroos.
Almost like the cartoons or something.
Especially like Nami before the time skip and then Nami after the time skip. This is the exact opposite of the Lola Bunny situation. It's like the exact opposite because he's just like, no, fuck, huge tattoo.
It's kind of weird. They want women to be flat and everything, which is kind of creepy because that's what child predators prefer. They
What
are
is-
attracted to the lack of
Yeah, but it's like he has a diverse cast of characters in terms of titties. You know, he's got the full range.
He's got C cups, D cups, F
D cups.
cups.
Well, he is an anime. He's an anime guy, so
Yeah,
they usually do. They usually do. I mean, big anime titties is a meme because there's a lot of them in there. But usually, there's always a woman in there with like a flatter chest, and they usually make fun of it. So, but there's usually a character in there with a flatter chest.
There's even plus size representation in the form of Big Mom.
Oh boy. Giants the size of like houses, yeah.
Anybody will get canceled over anything, and it's
yeah.
just the time we're living in, I guess.
It's too late though. I mean, One Piece is already this behemoth of a phenomenon.
I
They
think
can't really
so.
stop it.
Say that he hasn't changed, though. Say that
You know
he
what? You know what else was a behemoth? LD, Dr. Seuss, and he's been dead for a minute. They still canceled him.
Yeah, but now his books are worth thousands and thousands
Yeah,
of dollars.
his books are worth thousands, literally, not without exaggeration. His books are worth thousands of dollars.
It's amazing.
Those books that went up print because of cancellation, they are now people are selling those copies of those books for $2,000 a piece.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine if he amped
And
up,
I didn't think that we'd ever get to the point that Dr. Seuss get canceled.
Yeah, but if he
here we
amped
are.
up the racial references or the cultural references, they would have canceled a lot sooner, and it would have been a lot more expensive back in the day. Which means today it would have been even more expensive as a result of rarity. Oh,
we
Dr.
are.
Seuss made a reference to Japan. It's like, so? They wear certain clothing. They eat food certain ways.
Bioshock Infinite should be canceled because of the racist imagery.
Oh, they're going to do that.
Racist image.
They're probably going to cancel it. They probably will.
I'm glad I already bought the game.
Oh, it's such a good game. Anyway.
I hate everything.
We do see subtle changes in their character over time. They both adapt to the world changing around them, and they let their friends influence how they grow, even if they keep the same core traits throughout the story. But in JoJo's, every single...
But that's very, very general.
What?
So, wait,
Like,
Goku,
people have a character. What the?
Goku and Luffy are the same because they adapt to the world and
So-
their friends
They
influence them.
change, but they still have some defining characteristics that define them. That's like every character. That's like literally any character.
Why are you like this, Cosmonaut?
I still think Cosmo is the expert at this. Like he clearly knows how to write.
Mark.
No, you just don't understand Cosmonaut. You need
don't
a really high
understand.
IQ to understand him.
I don't understand the themes of Cosmonaut Variety Hour.
Cosmonaut Rant Hour.
Characters change, but they also have properties that don't. You're like, oh. Wow.
I guess your
This-
IQ is just not high enough for Cosmonaut.
All right, well, I guess. Cosmonaut is physically painful for me. He's just the worst fucking creator.
Now drop and give me 6 episodes of Rick and Morty, and you'll be
Oh my
fine.
God.
Zach, I'm not hearing a vocal fry, Zach.
Shut
Zach, I'm not-
Shut the
not
fuck
hearing
up.
Speak from the back
Shut
of your
up.
throat like this.
I will. Stop it.
Zach.
Zach, you gotta use the vocal fry, Zach.
Degenerates like you belong on a cross.
That never gets old.
Oh wait, true to Kaiser.
Roman Emperor. What are you gonna do? Anyway, Alex Halo. Joseph is the best racist. He can't forgive Japan.
What the fuck was that, Smud?
I can't pronounce Star. Unless it's Joestar. Then okay.
Yeah, it was the second guy. He hates Japan because his daughter
Ah,
married to a Japanese guy.
I'll
So he
never
hates it.
forgive the Japanese.
Never forgive the Japanese.
Yes.
It's okay when they do it.
That basically me, but with the French.
Well, you find yourself a nice French girl, your mind will change.
I'll never forgive the French for totally totally spies.
Totally Spies. What?
Crime against humanity.
Yeah, totally
Where
spies.
did Totally Spies come from? What the, hell?
French.
So we're talking about not forgiving the French for things.
The
And Totally
French made
Spies.
Totally Spies?
Yeah, the French made Totally Spies.
Oh, I thought it was okay.
I can't believe they did that.
Time I got hit by a truck and got reborn as a totally spy. That'd be a good
I can
manga.
barely remember
Oh
Totally
my
Spies.
God.
I just remember the laser beam lipstick that the yellow suit chick bounced between 2 mirrors and then aimed at a wall.
Oh
What?
yeah.
Yeah, so she took her laser lipstick while she was in jail. She put her 2 pocket mirrors like across from each other, and she fired the laser in between them, had the laser bounce back and forth between the mirrors, and then she just turned the mirrors and it melted the wall.
What?
that sounds
Yeah,
like an
yeah.
episode.
You know,
Uh,
a laser is literally a diode with 2 mirrors. One is slightly covered in silver, the other one's partially covered in silver. So allows photonic energy to pass it, to pass through. They're literally just reflecting itself. That's what a laser is.
It's literally yeah.
You don't understand the themes behind Totally
The
Spies.
themes. What did they mean by this?
Listen, you're not
Okay.
paying attention to the emotional resonance
You'd think
of
the
Totally
laser would
Spies
melt
breaking out of
mirrors,
jail.
but- Yeah.
Every fucking episode of that show is a different
Message
fetish.
coming in.
I'm
Patching it through.
Really?
okay with it.
For girls? For
There's like there's a fucking list of where every fetish can be found in Totally Spies. Like there's a big massive like it's like a literal like list of like every fetish and then which episode of Totally Spies has it.
Oh, it is pretty French, isn't it?
Yeah, that would be French.
I think the redhead in that show is what gave me
Alex?
my fondness for redheads.
Is it
Alex. There we go.
Yeah. So what is there? Sam, Alex, and Clover. Is it
Chloe.
Sam?
Chloe or Clover.
Clover. Clover's the blonde one.
Yeah, that's where Clover is where I like my
Is
is
I
where I
think
got
Message coming in.
my love for short hair
Patching
on
it through.
girls. That's where I got it.
Yeah.
And Raven from Teen Titans.
Sam's the ginger one.
Okay, there you go. Okay, I get the Raven thing. That's important.
Yeah.
See, he kind of does have that vocal fry though, Raven.
Oh,
She
right.
kinda-
Oh, yeah.
she kinda-
I wouldn't
she
say
kinda
it's
does
a
the
vocal
fry.
fry. It's
That's
not
her
a vocal
voice.
fry. It's just a very gravelly voice.
It kind of sounds like.
No, it's just a gravelly voice, and it's
Hey,
kind of
Beast-
nice.
Hey, Beast Boy, I'm Raven. How do you do?
I smoke.
No,
That's exactly how she sounded. Yeah, I remember now.
stop.
That's Raven's voice.
Hey, I'm Raven. What's going on? I'm walking here. That's what I do.
Raven! I'm played by Gilbert Godfrey!
No, I hate it.
I would watch that.
I would, but I hate it.
Damn it, Robin!
Wait,
Why
wait, wait.
can't you see that Starfire is in love with you, Robin?
Isn't that an episode
Not
where Raven
Starfire.
splits off into like 6 or 7 other Ravens, and then she's got all these different personalities?
Oh
You'll never understand me! I hate my dad!
That was like the waifu Raven episode. It's different Ravens, but they're all have different
Yeah,
personalities.
Dude, that's you need to stop portraying Raven as Gilbert Gottfried. That's illegal. It's illegal. You need to stop.
Here's okay.
I don't know what the opposite of horny jail is, but I'm gonna send you that.
It's not as
like
bad as warm grammar.
It's like inverted at this point. It's
Inverted horny jail.
It's like you're so unhorny. They're just like no.
Kramer's like a warm grandma.
It just goes in. It's just, no.
As long as you're perverted and nice, you're a good character.
Oh yeah, that's right. According to the
Gotta
standards
be a
laid down
funny
by
guy
that
from The Office.
that other lady, yeah, all you have to do is be nice or funny. Mainly funny. All you have to do is be funny, and you can get away with anything. Apparently.
Oh dear.
If you're perverted, that's a plus.
It's okay. Yeah, it's good. All right, let's get back to the video. Mike Testa, the fact that Bonk played over Smud joke is funny. Okay.
That's pretty funny, yeah.
I'm so glad I don't have a soundboard. Or I don't know what to do.
So am I.
One soundboard's enough.
No, I'm just glad I'm the one with the soundboard here because if one of you other guys had one, all my value to the show would just be lost.
Oh, right.
Dueling soundboard.
Bears has one too. We got to be careful to put you guys on the same time.
Oh yeah. Well, we've been good about it. Whenever he and I are streaming together, or if I'm on the Sloppy podcast, I'm usually pretty careful to not use my soundboard because then he will start spamming his, and it just does not make for a fun time.
Okay, 5 minutes in, 20 minutes video. Okay, well,
We're at 106 minutes into this podcast.
woo.
Character is flat. Even the ones that I think are decent.
Your voice
The
is
only
flat.
thing you might get is sometimes an evil character becoming nice. And to further show how lame and forgettable the characters are, most of them die unceremoniously. If you don't like a series where beloved characters are unceremoniously killed, maybe JoJo's isn't for you.
That was the point of that scene, because
Did
like it was like a shock value too, that like Abdul just like dies for real this time.
Did you
And Polnareff has no time to react to it.
did you catch the fade in? The title, The Last of Us Part 2?
Yeah,
Oh.
we don't talk about it.
We don't talk about it. Why he brought that up? I'm like, oh no. Why did you do that?
Can we just not?
Did we cover
Why
his?
did you say that name?
Yeah, did we cover?
Why did you say that name?
I think we covered his video. I think we did cover his video last year.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember it. I'm like, oh my god, I think we did. It was that forgetful. Like, oh,
Is that the one where he gave it a 9 out of 10?
oh god, I
Oh,
can't.
God.
Oh.
No. Well, no, that was a guy that was like, yeah, The Last of Us 2 is a masterpiece, except it's like 10 hours of nonsense, and I didn't understand 10 hours of the game. But it's a 9 out of 10.
The previous Zeppeli deaths were fine because they motivated the hero to fight on, but part 3 is where people just start dropping like flies, and it's a trend that continues throughout the series.
People
A
start
lot of the deaths in
dropping
JoJo's are simply there for shock value, and that's not even counting how many fake out deaths we get, but I'll get into that later. It wasn't until part 3 that I really started to notice some of this stuff. The cracks were starting to form. These are things that I did not like in previous parts, and I was hoping that maybe the story would grow out of them, and as I started seeing them more and more, I started to get kind of annoyed. But again, it took me a while to accept that. I thought that I was supposed to like part 3, because through osmosis I had seen so much about.
Wait, what does that sentence even mean? You thought you were supposed to like part 3.
Meaning, some people recommended it. Oh, it's the best one. The Stardust Crusaders are the best. Like, okay.
I mean, is it? I don't know. I mean, did people say like, oh, well, no, part 3, that's when it gets good? Do people say that kind of thing? Because I don't know.
I don't fucking know, but
That's a
I
lie.
mean, like, I like I said, I dipped when Wamu got shot in the chest after like the most contrived set of circumstances ever. And yes, Caesar's death was bad and shouldn't have happened there, but or at least shouldn't have happened the way it did. But I just don't know what he's saying here. It's a whole lot of nothing burger.
He doesn't like unceremonious deaths?
I would not. So Caesar's death was needless and unnecessary, but I would not say it's unceremonious. He does go out like a badass.
It. But a lot of the middle chunk of part 3 is just so goddamn boring. The fights aren't really as creative or
Boring!
exciting,
It's boring! Gotta love the subjective points. God damn you.
Usually you would say, like, it gets drawn out, the pacing's slow, the fights aren't exciting or as good as another fight.
Yeah, I would love him. I would love that for him to just qualify this at all.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he already skipped over a huge part of, like, when he's talking about the crack showing, what he could have brought in is some examples. But then, nope, it's just going right to boring.
Well, there's lots of scenes of these guys exploring in the desert and running around and doing stuff. So maybe he's referring to the, I guess you could call it filler or slow-paced middle part, but it's part of the adventure, so I don't know. Like, is it not as exciting as it could have been? And if it's not, what should have done? Why? Because he says character arcs aren't important. It's like, oh, okay. If that's the case, what should have happened instead? Because that's a very hard thing to argue when you're talking about traditional storytelling. You need to have a character arc somewhere. If you get rid of that, you're like, okay, you're right, but what would replace it? What would be enough of a hook for the audience to pay attention? And with Jojo, you can get away with some things because it does things over the top. It's like the fighting. So that could be a good enough hook, but you have to explain it. You have to show it.
Stands are really lame in part 3, which makes sense
Stands are-
because they're a new
What?
thing. But compared
They're
to some of the
lame?
stands that the enemies have in the exact same arc, the main heroes have some really lame-ass powers. Jotaro's stand can punch really fast. Polnareff's stand has a sword.
Well, it's not, punching really fast though. It's punching really fast, and it's very, very meticulous. That's like it can catch a bullet. It can catch a bullet with his fingers and stuff like that. And it becomes another plot point because they have to. I don't know. I forgot he had to draw something, and the stand could do it because it's very, very, very precise. So it's not just that. Although they had to evolve Joseph's stand because it was just he could take a picture of something. So
they had to fucking digivolve it.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it was something different altogether. But yeah, it is stupid. Okay, it's dumb. How come they go from Hamon to stands? I don't know why. I guess they want to change up something for no reason at all. Yeah, it's stupid, but
agree.
I'm not. It's JoJo. Okay, I'm not saying it's I'm not saying it's well written at all. But it just kind of do whatever they want to, and they have the leeway to do that because everything else is just so awesome. This is over the top and manly and powerful. Everything's just so crazy. Like, how come all of a sudden everyone gets stands, or Jotaro gets a stand, and then suddenly all the enemies become stand users, and they have a Dio somehow attracted like every stand user in the world to fight against them, and all
it's
the
kinda,
enemies now.
It's kind of like a video game plot.
Yeah, it evolves like a video game.
It's kind of like he's just the boss. He's just the final boss, and he just has a whole load of minions, and he just has a whole load of mini bosses. JoJo's Bizarre Adventures is a boss rush game.
Yes, it pretty much is.
It's
developed like a video game. It's ridiculous and it's stupid, but it's at the same time it's really, really awesome and fun.
I think it's the kind of thing where I'm just like, well, okay, I'll just go with it. I'm willing to just accept sort of the premise. It's sort of like pitching the ideas like, okay, let's just say they have these things called stands now. Just go with it. Just go with it. Just roll with it. And let's just say that there's just these really weird powers. And let's just say Dio has taken Jonathan's body. Okay, trust me. Just roll with it. Like, it's the whole thing is no, just go with it. And then eventually you just get okay. Now we're just gonna have some fights with these stands. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah, we're just gonna have fights now.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
It's all about stands now. And they bring back Dio, and he has all the stand people fight for him, and they kind of get rid of Hamon, even though Hamon was was the whole thing for the last 2 arcs, and then suddenly it just stands now, and there's no need for Hamon anymore for some reason, and that's it. It's just we shifted over here now, and then we're going to bring back Joseph Joestar, and now instead of just a Hamon user, he's going to also have a stand now because he has to fit in with everybody else. Okay, well, I thought it sounded like it would be rare, but now everyone just has a stand now. But fine, it doesn't really matter because all we're here for is the fights. Like, okay, cool.
And that's where you get the meme of like, there's an enemy stand user, but we have no idea who it could be.
This was me, Dio.
Who could it be?
Like, what if I had a little toy as a stand user? And also, like, Polnareff beat that guy with who was one of the most legendary assassins or something. He beat that guy, who was like a little toy assassin thing, and he beat him with a sword stand.
Devo?
I think it was Devil or something. The Devil's stand or something.
Yes, the Devil.
And Polnareff had his sword guy do stuff, and his sword guy is actually pretty cool. It actually does some pretty neat things. He's a sword. He's a knight with a sword. Okay, he can do some pretty good things in a fight.
Yeah.
I've never heard people say the stands are boring. I've never. It's.
The stands might be a lot of things.
That's.
I don't know how
I don't know
anybody
how
can
you-
say that JoJo is boring.
Yeah, that's
I don't like it, but it's far from boring.
The way some people might think the stands are kind of stupid, or the way they're introduced are kind of stupid, because maybe they kind of are. Maybe you could make that argument, but they're not boring.
Yeah, some plots in like part 4, part 5 could be like labeled boring because like it's just like I don't feel tension. Like honestly, in part 5, it just didn't feel tension at all for the most part because
Is it
like
just like low stakes?
character literally had the ability to like heal everything, so that removed like all feels of like stress.
Well, he can't heal himself, right? And
But not himself, but
that's
like
the one thing.
yeah, no, he can heal himself. Like he can replace light parts.
No.
Part 4 had that thing that like Juska had.
Oh, you're talking about part 5. You're talking about part 5. Okay.
Nah, part 5. Yeah, at least like part 4 had that thing that he can't heal himself, but that's part 5 just got really ridiculous.
It's weird though, because it seems like the kind of because JoJo is this sort of like sort of this anthology series almost where you sort of have like the current JoJo. It's not out of the realms of possibility that they could just lose and die, because it's like there's always the next
Message coming in.
there's always the next JoJo,
Patching it
and so
through.
there is, unlike something like One Piece where like stuff can happen, you know, and certainly there are stakes and
Message
there are
coming in.
consequences in One Piece,
Patching it through.
but you're not really, no one's really going to be, oh, Luffy's in danger. Like, no, not really. Like, he's the main character. It's not like JoJo where there's a next generation and it reinvents itself every sort of cycle.
JoJo, the next generation.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it seems
JoJo
like
the next generation.
the next generation. JoJo Deep Space Nine. No.
Ooh.
No.
Cisco with the sand.
JoJo Voyager.
JoJo Discovery.
JoJo Discovery.
JoJo Picard.
JoJo Lower Decks.
Wait, what?
JoJo Lower Decks. Oh no. I hate it.
There is a new Netflix anime based off JoJo that I think is coming out or has come out.
Which one?
What the hell is it called?
Hey, what? Well,
There's a spin-off,
no.
isn't there?
Is it some kind of
the
child porno?
no. You're talking about the JoJo's spinoff?
Yeah, it's a spin-off show that was on Netflix.
It's the
Alright.
guy from part 4 with the book Pars.
I can't remember his name.
Thus spoke something.
I refuse. That's his line.
Something beginning with R.
well, somebody said in the chat earlier that what was
Rohan.
it? Hellsing
Rohan.
Ultimate
Rohan.
is getting a live action.
Kishiberoan.
Why?
Hellsing
To make the old
Ultimate?
stuff look good again.
I didn't
Hellsing
ask.
Ultimate is getting a live action.
Whoa!
No.
I did not
Whoa.
request this.
Well, usually when
I-
live
I-
actions come out, it's
no.
usually to so they can exist, so that we can appreciate the animated version.
Yeah. Probably.
I really don't want a live action Hellsing Ultimate, please. No.
I don't even know.
Actually, it's not like a Netflix original. Like it's just they just gonna like publish it to the Western audience, pretty much.
Really?
There were like some OVAs about the Kushiberuan, like stories, pretty much like 3 or 4 of them in total, and they got adapted by David Productions in like last year. I think that was the last one, and they just gonna like publish it on like Netflix. That's all. It's thank God it's not gonna be made by Netflix, so they're only just publishing it. Yes.
All right.
I can't wait for Alucard to become a black lesbian woman.
He is already.
Who's 15? That was
Who's also 15.
A teenage genius black girl.
But was also alive in like the 1700s in Europe.
I know
Yes.
one of the dubs,
Yeah.
they changed his name to Arcado or something like that.
Arcado. Oh, yeah, Arcado. Gila.
The dub was good for that one.
Yeah, no, it
Honestly,
is.
it's really
it is
good.
good. It is good. Yeah,
It's really good.
I do like.
You know what else is really good? Hellsing Ultimate Abridged.
That's pretty funny, yeah.
Oh my god, I don't think I've seen a better YouTube series.
Like,
Yu-Gi-Oh!
they even got like the original Van Helsing actor from the Dracula movie from the 30s to voice act in the English dub. Like that's crazy.
Oh man.
All right. Alex Halo, Sword Guy gets an op power up later. LD, it's great. Okay,
So about Polnareff here?
yeah, I think so.
What was that?
Polnareff gets a power up.
Sword guy gets an OP power up.
That's
Sword.
nice.
I think Polnareff.
Oh, we don't talk about that. No,
Yeah.
no. Where are you at with Jojo LD? Like, have you seen part 4 or 5?
Not yet. I got where they got to Egypt. That's where I ended. I haven't been
Yeah.
able to continue it just yet.
All right. Then the nightmares aren't there yet.
Oh boy.
Message coming in.
Okay,
Passion
Tyler
through.
Preston, have you seen Hirohiko Araki's Bao? I don't know, Bao.
Ow.
All right then.
It's basically his version of Guyver. Oh, whoa. But Guyver, really? Guyver is a very weird sort of story, so...
It is a very weird story.
You know how the Flash has his power or his suit in his ring, and it unfolds from his finger? With Guyver, it's in the guy's neck. And it just pops out of the back of his neck and just covers his body. I always thought
That's interesting.
that was very like, what the hell? How does that work? I don't know. But they did it in the live action. I thought, okay, yeah, they did a decent job. So no, I have not seen that. I'm just gonna Google it soon and check it out. Joe Crazy. Apparently, the screenwriter for John Wick is working on the live action Hellsing Ultimate. Oh my god!
Oh, that'd be interesting, actually.
No. Leave it alone.
How is that even gonna
Make your own fucking thing. God damn you.
the thing?
I see a wide-brimmed vampire hat wearing vampire. This John Wick his way through evil villains or something. That could be interesting.
Keanu Reeves as Alucard. What?
No, please no.
Can you imagine a 7-foot-tall, moody, violent dude with cannons for guns, just blowing away people?
Alucard, played by Steven Seagal.
Oh, you know, a real fucking vampire.
Oh man,
Seagal
I got into the vampire thing.
Bitches love cannons. Please no.
Okay, let's get back on.
This is nice.
What's that?
I said this is nice.
Yeah. Anyway, stands are boring. Okay.
Abdul's stand can shoot fire, and Kakyoin's stand can throw rocks. Ooh, how exciting. I want an action figure of that. I was just never excited to see these heroes do anything, let alone win a fight.
Do
Yeah,
anything.
you just- you-
do
you-
anything.
you're just making it sound boring. It's just doing like a boring description of it. It's kind of like when the TLJ defenders say that all Yoda was a green little monster.
You just wanted Luke Skywalker to jump around, AT-ATs, cut them all up.
It's space wizards. Like, this is they're just space wizards. Why are you getting so uppity about this whole stuff? It's kind of boiling it down to something nonsensical.
Yoda is just a green Muppet for children.
Yeah, exactly. They're kind of boiling it down. They're not telling you why it's boring, or comparing it to something that would have been better. It's just, he just throws rocks. As opposed to, I don't know, what was it? Like, he's just pulling off as a guy with a sword. No, he's an awesome guy with a sword. The sword is awesome. Like, when his stand starts to fight, it's a really good stand. You can do all kinds of neat things with it. Also, how is a guy with a sword boring? Like, there's a lot of heroes, very well-known, very beloved heroes.
Yeah,
who are just a guy with a sword.
Zorro's just so boring.
Zoro never took off, did it? He's a guy with a sword.
It was just too boring. It was just too boring. People could just, it's just too boring. Just a guy with a sword, man.
Why do they all like this?
Message coming in.
This is great.
Patching it through.
Steven Seagal is Alexander Anderson. Oh no.
Alexander Anderson. Oh my God, yes.
No. You want Arnold Schwarzenegger as Alexander.
Yes.
That would be good. He's the right build. He's the right hair. He's right. Color. It's old. Perfect.
I can't imagine Alexander. I can't imagine as Alexander Anderson.
I think he puts that on. I don't think he actually talks like that now. I think he has to put that on because he knows that that's his brand. Like, that's his brand identity.
When he was starting off, there's a story. He went to acting school, vocal school, to get rid of his accent, to speak proper English, but he couldn't get hired.
Yeah, people want to hear him speak in the Arnie way.
Hello, I am Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm here to kill all of your enemies.
Put the cookie down!
Put the cookie down!
Put it down! Put the cookie down!
Here's Fritz Villagine. He's playing both games, both the Streamlabs as well as the Super Chat game. Okay. Arnie. Just to pray. Trying to do Alexander.
Oh no!
We have some very intellectual conversations on this.
I want Arnold Schwarzenegger to play Joseph Joestar.
That would be
no!
He would be the same age.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Who would be
Message
Jojo?
coming in.
I don't
Patching
care.
it through.
As long as we have Arnold Schwarzenegger being old Joseph.
Oh my
Joestar.
God!
I don't care about that. That's not important.
Live action.
Yes.
Live action American actors.
Yes,
Jojo.
I just want him to play Mr. Freeze again.
Everybody does.
That was his best role.
We'll kill the dinosaurs. The Ice Age. Let's kick some ice. It's the best.
Tonight's forecast: a freeze is coming.
Everybody chill. It's
Everybody chill.
Freeze in hell, Batman.
He made that character.
Oh, so good. Anyway,
Jigger
it's fun
610.
talking about better things than this fucking video.
Jojo is by far the best anime centered around a Joe. Well, yeah, I guess. That's one way. of putting it.
It's hard to argue against that. I don't know how many Joes are in the world.
The best Joe in all of anime is Jojo.
Ashitano Joe. Isn't that the other one? The Ashitano Joe.
Oh.
I also didn't like Tokyo Ghoul. I feel like I'm a heretic for that one.
I find it very forgettable.
I think it was the intro music I really liked.
Yes.
Yeah, the intro was really good. The rest of the show was kind of, but I'm consistently called a heretic for that one.
Really? I thought people were pretty like. I mean, I know people don't like the second season.
I mean, people always say Tokyo Ghoul good. Like
All I hear is
What universe?
shit. All I hear is how it went to shit and the manga's better. I always hear like the first season is good, but then after that it went to shit.
The manga is just as bad. Don't worry.
Yeah, for some reason the manga seems to be really popular, but I don't get it.
I still think Arnold as a religious psychopath is the way to go in his old age.
I liked the fights in Tokyo Ghoul, but there weren't enough of them. It was a whole lot of nothing. And then the ending fight with I can't remember the main characters, Kaneki and the policeman. Just kind of like does the Sopranos cut to black thing, and then he comes back with the dude's body, and then I guess Kaneki dies because he just shows up and then cuts to black. It's like, oh, all right then. I guess that's that.
Okay. 7 minutes. Doing good.
I had a question about the first guy they picked up. We can't remember everybody's name. I remember Polnareff because he's one of the main guys, and Abdul because he's awesome. Abdul's fantastic. But the guy who Jutara first fights, the one with the paint.
Kakyoin?
Yeah, Kakyoin.
Kakyoin, yeah.
Yeah. How come he never uses that thing again, where he just paints somebody and just starts slashing them up? That was a pretty cool maneuver.
How come he never uses the thing with the cherries? How come not never? He never used that again.
I listened to the English version. He's in the voice actor. He just goes lick 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 lick. Yeah, it was kind of weird. I don't know why they did that.
It's actually it's a Japanese thing that Kakyoin is doing, because like the rero thing is for Japanese is literally means that what they translate it to, but it doesn't translate too well to the show itself.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of things in Japanese sound like the muda thing. It's kind of hard to do the translation because it's hard to go.
It's a very cultural thing. Yeah.
You know, it'd be like so difficult to do.
There's so many characters though in Stardust Crusaders. It's hard to keep track of them all.
That's why sub is better. For fuck. Anyway.
Okay. No, you're wrong.
Fuck you.
I like the dubs, man. I like the dubs for no other reason other than it's purely subjective.
Okay.
That is in the last few bits of part 3. The last few fights are actually kind of cool. I'd say everything from the pet shop fight upward is actually pretty decent. And it just shows me that this arc didn't need to be that long. I think part of the reason why I liked part 2 so much is because it wasn't really that bloated. It felt like everything was kind of there on purpose to service the story. I feel like it didn't really waste your time too much. And in part 3, it really does waste your time. But I gotta say, the last battle in part 3 is pretty fucking good.
That's the second time you've said that, dude.
In the entire series. It's so good that it almost tricked me into forgetting that I did not enjoy a majority of the rest of the arc. But nothing could truly make me forget that slog. So when I ended Stardust Crusaders, I was really not that excited to read more JoJo's.
Dude.
I think at this point, I started to feel the burnout.
Quantify your statements, please.
And I heard that part 4 was like kind of low stakes and more akin to a slice of life series. And I thought the new characters looked kind of lame design-wise. And I didn't think this new adventure could really hold my attention. But boy was I wrong, because part 4 is the best part in JoJo's. Everything that people love about JoJo's is here, and it's strongest.
Not an unpopular opinion.
Out of nowhere, the characters are like actually likable, and they have a tighter friendship.
The characters are actually like, dude,
Oh,
what the
God.
fuck?
I like every single character that you're supposed to be liking. I even like Dio. Dio's awesome.
What?
Well, part 4 is
actually likable. Dude, a lot of the characters in JoJo are likable. What do you mean actually likable?
Genuinely. They're genuinely, actually, really
boring.
Like, oh, so they were all just shit prior to this?
Joseph was pretty fun.
Yeah.
God damn, if he was not entertained by Joseph in both part 2 and part 3, I don't know.
To this day, I still have no idea how Joseph pulls off that little thing where there's, I knew you were going to say that. like Judge Dredd. Like I knew you were going to say that. This is the next thing you're about to say is, "I can't believe you just did that," and then the guy goes, "I can't believe you just did that," and that's how you know he's winning, because he just figured out what the guy was going to say. I thought it was like a mind
I
manipulation.
don't know how that works though. The next thing you're going to say is this, and then they just say it.
They just say it. Like, I don't know how he does that. I don't know if it's with a trick or he's just manipulating the mind or whatever.
It
but
seems
it's
to be.
kinda
I think it's just like a con man type thing where it's like a.
He can read into people really easily, I would say. Like he's like charismatic as fuck. So
I think maybe it's just he says it really convincingly, and then they think that that's right. Like they retroact. Like he just says it so confidently that they're just like, "Wow," and then they just say it because and then he's like, "See," and he's
but he's just like, "Oh my god, how did you know that I was going to say that?" It's like.
He's just such a Chad that he just says it so confidently that he gaslights people into believing that that's what they were going to say.
I thought when he said part 4, he was referring to chapter 4, which was Diamond is Unbreakable, not Battle Tendency. So I was like, oh, wait.
Oh, goodness.
That's a pretty good chapter. I really like Diamond is Unbreakable. That's because of the villain. Because you have to. How do you upstage Dio? Like, how do you make a better villain? How do you creep people out? How do you make a guy?
Kiro is excellent.
Kira's so good.
Such a good villain. So
just wait to get to the arc called Dreamhouse Vacation and Citrus Fodder Love. That was a good arc.
It's like that fucking Pro ZD video.
Thanks for reminding me of better content creators than Cosmonaut.
That's pretty easy.
It's pretty funny.
You can't have a solid opinion that's consistent for more than 10 seconds.
Yeah, the one where it's like it's the Hotel Dusk Arc. I'm pretty sure that's a DS game. No. It's spelled like this. You know, it's like exclamation mark tell like dusk.
You should read the manga.
You should read the manga. Oh, you've gotten to the orange marshmallow arc. You know?
Goodness.
They're immediately more engaging, and all the characters are pretty unique from one another because there's not too many of them, and they have some of the most fun character traits, with Rohan not only being my favorite JoJo's character, but one of my favorite shonen characters.
God damn you! Just qualify your points. If you're gonna say something, just qualify what you're saying, you fuck.
React to the insane shit.
That's it. That's all I had to say.
Okay.
Shit that they encounter. It's called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and this is the one arc where it truly feels like a guy named JoJo is experiencing a bizarre adventure.
What?
Where have you been on
Wow.
What?
Vampires.
What
Vampires.
the fuck?
Vampires. Vampires, Cosmo.
Vampires and Sunshine Kung Fu. It's not bizarre enough.
Vampires, Cosmo.
What? The first 3 parts of JoJo are just not bizarre enough.
I thought the cyborg
What
Nazi
the
was pretty bizarre.
Yeah, the fucking crotch gun, Nazi with the fucking supreme German engineering. You don't think? You just think
German engineering is the best engineering in the world.
So you see that and you're just like, yeah, this is just normal.
Yeah, that's fine.
This is just what I see when I pop down to the shops. You know, when I pop down for a Hot Pocket, you know, and you just see a guy, you know, in the 7-Eleven with the crotch gun.
I have no idea how that guy survived his encounter with the Pillar Men, but it was kind of cool that he did.
The Pillar Men are just normies, really. Like NPCs.
Fuck you, Cosmo. Fuck you.
Like
Worthless.
What do you even say to that, man?
There's nothing you can say. Everything he fucking says is just worthless.
Oh no, it's bizarre.
No, it's bizarre.
No. Oh, sorry. I mean, no, it's bizarre.
Bizarre.
Yeah, Speedwagon wasn't interesting enough for him, apparently. I don't know.
There's a
There's a character named Oreo Speedwagon. You fuck.
Who makes a Speedwagon Foundation. So anyone who hasn't seen JoJo, it gets pretty bizarre right from the get-go.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure gets bizarre?
Yeah, it gets pretty bizarre right from the get-go.
Oh, no.
For fucking like first episode, like Dio just locks up the dog in a furnace.
Yeah,
he's
you don't
angry.
actually in the anime. You don't actually see it. You just kind of like you see the furnace, but in
Yes.
the manga, you see like the full like thing. You see it.
The
actually
dog coming out
burning.
from it. Yeah.
And the dog's like, oh, and you're like, oh, damn.
I actually think like the anime is bad because like you just like put it together in your head like what actually is gonna happen next. So
You don't
The art
really
more
need
horrible.
to see.
The art
you
in
don't
those
really
panels
need to
is
see
good, though.
that.
The art in those panels though are good though. They're like I
Yeah.
suppose from like I don't know like I don't what would you even call it, like a direction standpoint. I can see like how maybe it's better not to show it. I don't know if direction is the right word, but you know what I mean.
I don't know.
I get it.
What like cinematography or like choice of shots, like of what to show or whatever.
Yeah.
Storyboarding. I don't know, like. Keep watching.
Yeah, this is so empty, but I guess you'll have a point in here somewhere.
Will
Sure, and act appropriately. The fact that Josuke is a normal fucking dude is why I love him more than the other JoJos. He's the most relatable
Normal?
one by far, and
Wow.
although he doesn't change much
See, he
over
has
the course of the
psychotic
story-
urges just because somebody insults his hair. Is that normal?
How is Jonathan not like normal? He seems like a pretty average kind of. I mean, he's like
He is. Yeah.
beefy, but like he's still just like he's pretty averagey, normal personality to me. They didn't seem
You
that
can
like-
argue the fashion sense to everyone is strange, but that's just how they dress. That's the idea. The character of, let's say, I don't know, Jotaro is like stoic, leading man, quiet, serious. It's like, that's fine.
I like Jotaro honestly much better in part 4.
Message coming in.
It's almost like
Yeah.
he's the main
Patching it
character.
through.
I think Josuke has like the best poses though. Like he has like
does,
some of the best poses of any.
Prince
JoJo.
is pretty best.
And he's got that drip, He's got he's got the drip. He's got that. He's got that. He's got that fucking supreme fucking.
No,
the
you're right.
fucking supreme hoodie. Like he's got the he pays. He gets what he pays for.
Drip is forever. So.
Yeah.
Here's Joe Crazy. Swimsuit model Aztec blood gods. Cosmo's like, it's an everyday occurrence.
Yeah, come on. Every show has that.
Yeah, Pillar Man, that's so...
Bit of an odd bloke, that one. Bit of an odd bloke, that one. Bit of a strange fella.
Bunch of immortal gods from ancient Egypt. Yeah, it's nothing new.
Yeah, I have a blood god who lives down the street.
Blood for the blood god.
I got kicked out of Greg's because I was being too bizarre. Were you being too bizarre? Yeah. Was it in Greg's? Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have to go. But thanks for having you on, Smut Boy.
No
This
problem.
is fun. I always like we just talk about JoJo without having the Cosmonaut burden on our backs one day.
All right.
But thanks for having me on. I'll talk to you a little later.
All right.
Bye.
See you.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
He escaped.
Well, you know what? We're probably not going to go too much longer because this is getting really empty and stupid. So
You want to
Yeah,
skip to the end
this
to see
is,
what his conclusion is?
let's go for one
I
more
would
minute,
love
and then we'll skip to the
to
end.
skip to the.
Yeah, one more minute. Get to 10 minutes. Say we did half the video, and then we're going to skip to the end.
I think he has like a lot of criticism to part 5 mostly. Like he's really, really angry at part 5. And he has like no description of part 6. He literally just says like,
I thought he read the
I
manga."
read it, but I don't remember anything. And
What do you
funny
mean?
enough, I have a theory that like he didn't even read
I
the
don't think
manga.
he
He's
read- I
just
don't
like
think he read
saying that like, oh, I actually read the anime, but I just want to be a hipster. That like, oh, I liked this before.
I
Like,
read the
everyone liked it.
No, I didn't read the manga until after catching up with the anime, and then I read it.
Same.
I'm not gonna be like pretend like I was here before that. No, I watched the anime first because that's when everybody got into it mostly.
I think that's pretty
I mean,
fair.
If you didn't, that's fair enough. But
yeah, you have to really like pay attention to the manga world. And in the 90s, I don't think it was easy to get anything JoJo. Like you'd have to order it exclusively from some Japanese retailer or something. So
And then it translated
Message
to
coming
like,
in.
yeah, it would be the original
That's
copy.
another question.
So yeah, you'd have to actually can read kanji and other hiragana or whatever it was printed in. So it's like you'd have to be really hardcore to get it. So
And the only translation for like the longest was that crappy Chinese translation was.
What
Especially for
a
part 4.
beautiful doing.
True.
Chew.
here's Zach. Zach play Avalon. It's Car's ultimate theme. What?
He didn't watch that, so
It's
he quit at the Colosseum. So
It's like the operatic part. It's like the. I can't do it, but yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
not-
don't have it on my soundboards.
All right, don't worry. One more minute, and then we'll just skip the end.
He's just solid. Hell, even Jotaro is good in part 4. While his cool guy routine wore thin on me over the course of the last
Even
adventure, in
Jotaro
this
is
one, he
good in
ju-
part 4.
Does he mean what?
Means he's bad in his own part. And
All right, so I don't know about you guys, but my watch together just buffered. What timestamp are you on?
9:14.
9:14.
Okay, good. Me too. All right.
Does he mean part 4 of Stardust Crusaders?
No. Like overall, like as in Diamond is Unbreakable, as opposed to
Oh.
Even Jotaro is good.
Stardust Crusaders.
In
Okay.
part.
I got you.
Like Jotaro is good in like every part that I've seen. As in, like I enjoy JoJo's character, even though it's not particularly well written.
Yeah, he's straightforward. He's very easy to understand. That's kind of the general idea of all these guys. Are like, okay, he's a bit weird here and there, but they're not deep and complicated and all these other things, unless you're talking about the side
They
characters.
don't. Yeah, they really don't need to be.
Everyman. It sometimes seems weird in a show like JoJo to say like the everyman, but they kind of are, mostly. I mean, they're kind of like
I
they're
wouldn't
not-
say that.
but they're not like the most standout characters. Like I feel like JoJo in any given JoJo series, they aren't the most interesting or bizarre character.
Right.
In
Comparatively speaking, yes, that's right.
So
yeah.
I'll agree.
Like Bruno is just like, once you introduce Bruno, it's like, okay, Giorno's hair is just all right. That's enough. And then you see what Bruno can do, and you're like, oh, okay, that's over the top. Yeah.
I feel like Bruno's power is like really OP because it seems like it's. I don't know. It just seems like he could just like. I mean, doesn't he spawn like knives inside someone at one point?
He can turn things
Yes,
on
he
and
does.
off. Yeah, it's
Seems like that was way too overpowered. That seems like you could just like instantly kill like anyone.
Isn't there also a guy that can erase things from existence?
Yes. Well, depending on like which you mean. Like I think like part 4 has that's like the guy who just get partners up with
Well, in
Okuyasu.
part-
Okuyasu.
You have a character like I think he changed it. I think Araki changed his powers how they work, but he can like take away like abstract qualities from things. Like he can take away its hardness or something. It's
creative.
it gets really like sort of so open ended that it's kind of, and that's kind of the problem with some of these powers is like it gets so open ended with the definition of the power. Where it ends up like how in Redo you have a healer. He uses his healing powers to quote unquote heal the world back before the things happened to him. So and it's all under the umbrella of healing, so it's
see
that kind of
that's one thing, but then he starts
Message coming
tasting people
in. Patching it through.
because
because you can
Excuse
taste
me?
if you're a liar.
yeah, you can just figure out whether you're lying by tasting you. It's like, oh, it's
It is the taste of a liar.
Didn't he like stop using that after like the first episode?
It's so funny. Like, what is happening in this?
He kind of just does it. Yeah, with Jorno, and he's like, oh.
Another Jojo thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is just my problem with powers and stuff in anime. Is like once you can have anything you want. Literally, you can do anything you want when you're creating a world. You can have it be anything you want for any reason you want. But when you're just inconsistent, it ruins stakes, and that's why it's a problem. That's why consistency is such a big deal for me, anyway. Because without consistency, there are no stakes, and that was my big problem with Jojo during his chariot fight with Wamu. There are literal frames in the anime that contradict each other. The one I always bring up is when he's hit by the divine wind after Wamu comes out of the horse, and it shows him being blasted back into the air, and just like he's losing like gallons and gallons of blood.
Yeah.
And then he crashes back on his chariot. Then they cut to Lisa having a whole talk with Cars. And then it's just cut back to Jojo, and he just kind of gets up, rubs the back of his head. He's like, ow, that kind of hurt. And then Wamu's the one who's all fucked up. It's like, that's not... Wow. There are no more stakes because you could show Jojo get shot in the head.
Yeah, I feel like that's sort of a thing in anime in general where there's
it's not a thing in anime in general.
I think it is. There's a certain level of like they can take so many like things that should obviously be lethal, but the characters are just so...
No, a lot of them do take that pretty well. Nor does that excuse what Jojo, like what happened to Jojo. When you have literal frames contradicting each other of a character losing gallons and gallons of blood, and then they're just like perfectly fine, like their head kind of hurts, and they have no cuts on them or anything. That is a problem. That is a huge fucking problem.
Okay, I think we're going to skip ahead here, but let's go on with the super chats and donations. Taker610, thank you. What's the stand user that is the baby with the dream stand? The one he makes eat his own crap. I love that episode and Stardust overall. I think that was the one with Dio, where he's sort of protecting Dio. I can't remember.
No, there's literally a baby stand in Stardust Crusaders that they have no idea, but it's orphan baby, and all of them are like guided that they have to like get this baby to somewhere, and then Kakyoin finds out that the baby is actually a stand user and wants to kill them in their dreams.
Yes,
I'm trying to remember that.
He has to like he puts like a scar on himself, like Kakyoin, that like the baby is the stand user, because like everyone forgets what happened after the dream was over, except for Kakyoin, and he then feeds shit to the baby in the soup.
Okay.
Ken Kaneki, hey, but that is an anime thing, Zach. No, it's not. When you have frames literally contradicting each other, showing something completely different to what happened on the screen, that's not a prevalent problem in anime. Does it happen? Yes. I'm not disagreeing with that. But that was such a blatant cop-out that it was fucking ridiculous. And it made me really just want to walk away right there.
Well, you literally did that.
Well, no, it was the next episode that I walked away, Mark. When you have frames contradicting each other, such as the main character fucking dying and losing all of their blood, and then the next scene with them, they are perfectly fine. That removes stakes from the show. Now anything can happen for any reason at all, ever, and there's no tension. There's no point in being invested in the plot. Because, I already know that, like, this is just going to go whichever way the plot wants it to. Doesn't matter what is happening. It doesn't matter what the setup is. It can go any direction that the plot needs it to go in. there are no stakes anymore. That's why consistency is key, and that's why I harp on it so much.
All right, here's Mike Testa. If it weren't for piracy, dub actors wouldn't exist. Let me think about that.
But honestly, like there wouldn't be that much interest towards the series otherwise. Yeah, I could like have that argument.
I would imagine the pirates would do their own dubbing, or they get someone else to do dubbing. Like someone would get a copy early in Japan, and they bring it over, and then a fan dub group would do it. But would that mean that they would then get skills to get hired as an actor? Not necessarily. You would have to actually apply to be, get a job as an actor. So, they might want a photo reel. They might want a demo reel of something you've done before. It might help that way, but I'd have to think about that. Here's Fritz again. Hey, Fritz. Don't forget, Smud. Bruno can unzip his own heart. Gappy. Josuke Part 8 can remove friction from anything. Trish can make anything elastic, and Giorno can turn a bullet lodged in your skull into a effing rhinoceros beetle. Yeah, I know. You could do lots of crazy crap. Everyone in JoJo can do some really ridiculous, crazy stuff.
I love the powers in JoJo. Like, they're so I've never seen anything so creative as some of the powers in JoJo. Or so imaginative, rather.
Yeah, I think creating life in general, even with cars, is kind of crazy. But with Giorno, it's like butterflies and.
I'm surprised like they never had in JoJo a character with the power of that one. That character in, I think it's this, isn't it Danish? This thing where it's this character that goes around saving people with his dick.
Yes, it's a Danish.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So, I'm surprised JoJo never had the character like that.
Part 9 is gonna have it though.
that's gonna be JoJo.
That's an odd one. Kaneki again, man. That is 1000% an anime thing. They just survive lethal wounds. That happens in a lot of media. However, I would not say it's overly prevalent in anime.
I mean, I don't know.
As in every other anime you watch is just gonna have huge cop-outs like that? No, not really.
Have a consequence. Like, I don't know, like even fucking DBZ did it in the first few episodes that Goku died. And
I agree.
Yeah. That was good.
Like, does it happen in anime? I'm not disagreeing that it happens in anime. I know it does. But it happens in pretty much every other media. It's not 1000% an anime thing.
No, I think it is. I think it is definitely, it's very prevalent, especially in shonen anime. It's any Shonen Jump anime or any Shonen Jump like manga. There's loads of that.
Well, that doesn't.
To me, like
disregarding that. Even if it was 1000% an anime thing, that doesn't excuse how bad of writing it is.
The thing is, though, like it doesn't really have that much to do with consistency. If people are just if that's just how resilient people are in that universe, that it's not inconsistent.
No, that's not. That's apples and oranges. You can establish somebody to be more resilient. So if, a bullet killing somebody at IRL. It's inconsistent with Superman just tanking bullets. Like, that doesn't really match up. For it to say that it's 1000% an anime thing I disagree with that. But even if it was 1000% an anime thing, that doesn't excuse the poor writing. You can have somebody consistently be resilient and be able to tank lethal blows. However, the bad writing part comes in with they are shown to be able to tank a blow pretty easily, but then that same attack kills them later on.
Okay, yeah.
for no other extenuating circumstance.
Yeah, sure. Like that's inconsistent, but I don't think there's. I'm not like counting the gallons of blood, when I'm watching anime. I'm not like, oh well, look, he's lost so much blood. In reality, he'd be dead. Like I don't like.
Right, and I'm not doing that
care about
either.
that,
But when in that frame where I'm talking about Jojo losing quote gallons of blood, it's really just hyperbole because it shows like half the screen being filled with his blood and just like, oh my god, he is very clearly dead. This is very clearly a death blow shot. Or he is at least on the brink of death. But then the next time you see him, he just like kind of gets up and rubs the back of his head, go, ow, that hurt. And he has no cuts, no nothing. He's perfectly fine. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, we're gonna fast forward here. I'm gonna pick the 17th minute mark because we've got 2 minutes left in the video, which is usually when things go crazy or they just sell whatever crap sponsor they've got. So that should finish this off rather quickly.
All right.
I agree.
Let's get it.
Decision.
Sometimes I see some random jerk-off on the internet saying that they don't like anime, and without fail, there's always at least one weirdo who says, hey, I know you don't like anime, but you should really watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why would you recommend that as someone's first show? And I will admit, this pushed me away from the series a lot more.
So
Well, that's fucking dumb.
some guy on
Great
Twitter.
pause screen, by the way.
I mean, it is paused. It is definitely paused. That is a pause screen. Right
That
there.
is a pause screen if I've ever seen one. I'm just gonna go ahead and screen cap that.
Why
and
does
drop
this
that
remind me of
into
the spiffing Brit? That's all he does in all his videos. He has all these
Yes.
Shutterstock images.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I do agree with Cosmo here of like why the fuck would you ever recommend this as somebody's first anime?
It's not a first anime. The same way like Hellsing Ultimate is not your first anime. Like, you don't just jump.
Oh no! That's something you work up to.
Evangelion should be the first. Obviously.
I always recommend.
Bible Black should be. The
Shut the fuck up. I always recommend Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood
It's
is
pretty normal
like
stuff, yeah.
chef's kiss. Mwah. It's so fucking good. The writing in that show is so fucking good. Oh my goodness.
it's good. Yeah. And it has stakes. It's good with stakes.
Oh, it's very clear in Full Metal. I love Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood in that it is very clear these are like Edward is a kid, and it establishes that from the very beginning. He gets stabbed in the shoulder.
What are
by
you
a
saying?
blood
He's
spear.
short, Zach? Are you saying he's short? Wow.
Don't call me little!
It's very clear that he is human. He is not. He's tough. He's a tough motherfucker. He can tank some shots, but he's gonna be losing blood. And he's like, once he gets stabbed by something, he can keep fighting, but he's running on borrowed time.
Yeah, I do like when injuries are like
Are actually meaningful. Yeah.
they're kicking into the plot and stuff.
Yeah, and he fuck's sake, even when like towards the I think it's like towards the end, Kimberly collapses that mine shaft and he gets impaled by a piece of metal. That he's taken out of the fight for a while, and there's a actual cost for him like having to fix himself. He like spends years of his life, and it's a lot of effort from him, and it's a very one-off thing to do. That is an example of force healing, quote unquote, done right. Because there's a legitimate cost, and it's something incredibly difficult, and it's only because he's handled a Philosopher's Stone before that he can imagine himself as a Philosopher's Stone and perform that transmutation. That's an example of fucking amazing writing, cause and effect.
Equivalent exchange.
Equivalent.
The amount of fucking times you hear that fucking monologue at the start of the episode. The law of equivalent exchange.
The
You know,
law
it's
of
like
equivalent exchange.
every single fucking episode
What could equal the value
it's-
of a human life?
of a human life. And then, like, he lists the ingredients and everything.
Yeah.
I used to think like, oh shit, I want to try making a human. I'm gonna try making a human from scratch. I'm gonna see what would actually happen if I got those ingredients together.
Yeah. What I
could
also
actually
appreciate
make with that?
What I also appreciate is when they're doing the transmutation to like bring back their mom,
Yeah,
they prick their fingers and they're just like a little bit of soul data. Yeah, they're like 5-year-old kids or something.
yeah.
And that kind of logic is very much like in line with how a kid would think of just like, okay, now I just add a little bit of my blood to like give it some soul data or whatever the fuck, even though that may not like line up to what the actual human
Right,
transmutation should go like, but it still causes a bit of a backfire. Minor inconvenience for them, really.
All right. Let's keep going.
Hey, read
Alright.
part 7, Marky. I know you don't like JoJo's, but you gotta read part 7. Man, leave me alone.
Yeah,
Alright? I
read
don't
part
want it
7.
anymore.
Man,
At
leave
this
me
point, I
alone.
feel like my
Leave
territory
him alone,
is
guys.
done developing. Since quitting JoJo's, I've read a lot of shonen that I actually like a lot more than the good stuff that I enjoyed in JoJo's. And I don't think you can compare every shonen to each other, but since
Sure
quitting
you can.
JoJo's, I've read One Piece,
Sure
a
you
story
can.
that actually made me cry. And if you know me, media rarely makes me cry. And then the Hunter x Hunter
don't
anime
think-
came out, and it recontextualized what shonen meant to me.
No.
How is Hunter x Hunter, by the way?
It's
I mean,
made by the
okay.
same guy who made Yu Yu
Same guy who
Hakusho.
made Yu Yu Hakusho. Yeah, so it's pretty good.
It's on
The-
constant hiatus.
Yeah, the manga is so it's not finished. It's
It's
just
on
kind of-
it's on the list of animes to watch for me. I just wanted to know.
The anime is finished, so yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I'll-
wait, does the anime have like an actual ending, or is it just like up to date? Like,
I think
just,
it's
like, up to-
cliffhanger, if I remember.
Right.
From what I've been told, it does end like it is an ending point.
Like you could
Um,
end there.
Yeah, like if there were no more episodes after this, it'd be fine.
They didn't
Yeah.
pull a berserk on it.
Yeah. I've heard it's good.
Yeah.
Uh,
I've heard nothing but good things about Hunter x Hunter.
so he
that's-
showed up a thing of Promised Neverland there, and yeah. So the second season of the anime completely skipped a whole arc of the manga, and just fucking. Oh god, it's so bad.
um,
And also,
I
the
tried watching
manga ended really
Demon
well.
Slayer or Demon Hunter.
Mhm,
Demon Slayer.
Demon
that's
Slayer. Yeah, yeah.
I tried watching that. It was the first few episodes were a slog. I had to dip out.
Same.
It got to the, it got to the
couldn't
point where
fucking-
he was smelling traps in the woods. I'm like, what the fuck?
I keep going to watch it, and then watching the first like 2 episodes, and then not watching it for ages, and then completely forgetting what happened.
Yeah, I've
back to it.
attempted it. I've attempted it twice, and
I've
both
seen
times
some
it's
like
not great.
screenshots and like gifs and stuff of like some of the later like fights, and it's like, oh, that looks.
Oh
pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I watched like
That looks pretty
AMVs.
sick. You know, that looks pretty fucking sick, man.
Yeah, I've watched
Um,
AMVs of some of the later fights, and it's just like, oh my god, this is fucking awesome. But it's just, I can't get to it.
Yeah. Oh, apparently, Promised Neverland skipped 2 arcs, which is like fucking crazy.
Oh,
Because it
isn't there a
I don't know.
Dead Man Wonderland or something?
Yeah.
Yep.
Every time
Like,
somebody
the-
says
the-
Promised
the anime
Neverland,
is pretty-
every time somebody says Promised Neverland, all I hear is Dead Man Wonderland, even though I've never seen it.
That's what they do have a similar ring to them. Yeah.
It's also another anime with a great intro.
Dead Man
Doesn't it have
Wonderland.
it's an English opening, doesn't it? It's English words.
Is there one? An English one? Oh yeah, no, the song is English. Yeah.
Dead Man Wonderland.
Yeah, the song is English. Yeah.
Yeah, the song. It says English opening song.
Berserk is a great first anime.
Oh.
I don't
1990s
like.
Yes.
I don't like Berserk because I just.
Fuck! No!
Okay, Zach, your anime license is revoked now.
I just don't like Berserk because I know of like the murder rape scene, and I'm like, I'm okay.
Message coming in.
I'm okay. I don't
Patching it through.
need a murder rape anime in my life. I'm all right.
It's just one
not
scene.
just about it's that's
Right,
several
but
of
it's
them, but
I know
yes,
it's just one scene. There's only one murder rape in the whole series, dude.
It's early
I'm okay.
on.
It's only
not a big
one.
deal. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It was just a little one.
The series is massive. There's so much other
also
stuff.
has
in
like different problems. Like
yeah.
it's also one of those series that like only has like a chapter every year, and it's really tiresome.
Yeah.
I feel like the creator has lost what the series should be about.
It's dragged out. They don't know what to do with the quest. It's as if they had this epic's tale and they didn't know where to go, and they just keep going. And it's like, dude, finish it off or let it go because this is not worth it.
Like we waited like there's one character who Zach probably meant that rape scene. It gets like mind raped for like 20 years, and then suddenly comes back, and then wait another year to have another chapter with this character. No, we sidetrack back to like meaningless sub story about the villain growing his empire again.
Yeah, oh god, yeah. The majority of the heroes would be completely worthless without the witch chick. Like she's like, if she's gone, the whole plot is gone. It's just like what?
Yes. Ever since he donned the armor, it's just like such a slog to follow.
Zach, what are you Mother's Basement with Goblin Slayer? I know that like there's some murder rape in Goblin Slayer. Another reason why I won't watch it.
For first 10 minutes.
I'm okay. They're, like overly like gratuitous. I think Hellsing Ultimate was the exception to the rule for me.
Oh yeah.
Where
gun porn.
I sorry?
It's gun porn. It's basically gigantic guns blowing away all kinds
of like overly gratuitous, Nazis. like blood, guts, gore. I don't like a whole lot of that stuff. It's just a weak stomach for me.
But like Alucard gets raped in that show. Like,
He does. And I was like, it was a very weak moment, like very weak stomach moment for me where I had to like turn away from the screen. But I was able to get through that because I was very invested at that point. But it was more of an exception to the rule. I just can't handle that kind of stuff. I like stuff like My Hero Academia. Some animes like that. My Hero Academia is like chef's kiss. Mwah. That is right up my alley.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Shonen Jump.
Right up my alley.
All the Shonen Jump. All right, we get it. Okay.
My Hero Academia seems very like mid to me.
All right. It's okay. Let's keep going. Fritz, Dollface, did they skip Yugo?
Yes. They skip past Goldie Pond arc. Like so it's the arc before that, and then the whole Goldie Pond.
Oh, hi, Ollie. Hello.
So,
Hello,
yes.
Hello,
He's not.
Excuse me. My cat just hopped up. I gotta pet him. Hello, boy.
Alrighty.
Zach just has the worst anime takes, it seems. Go fuck yourself.
Not as bad as Cosmonaut, but yeah, same idea.
I have reasons. My reasons are very subjective. He is just a tism.
The best thing about My Hero Academia is You Say Run. Like that's
the song.
That's the best thing about My Hero.
The meme.
What are you talking about?
That's a fucking tune, man.
Dude, what are you talking about? How is that the best part? It's so good.
Banger, man. It's a banger.
I'm gonna have to put out. Eventually, I'll make.
Let's continue with the video.
Let's go.
I don't know. My personal taste. I'm not saying that you're a dummy for liking JoJo's. I'm just telling you why I don't like it. If you like it,
I like it because I like it. I don't like it.
I don't like it because it's bad, but I like it because I like it.
I just like it because I said because I don't like it, but it's awful. But it's bad. You're a bad person. Yeah, you're a bad.
First of all, that's something you will never hear me say. Like, just because I don't like something, I'm not gonna say it's bad. JoJo is badly written. I can make objective points about that.
The reason why
I don't like it. Berserk is greatly written, from what I know. It's very well written. I just don't like it.
The reason why he says this, and other people say this, I've been noticing that even in my comment section, someone will say, well, you just weren't paying attention to X, Y, and Z, and therefore your entire
You just don't get it.
outlook is wrong. And I'll reply saying, no, this is, people were defending the bloody rock from Star Wars. I was like,
What?
yeah, and I was like,
How?
You didn't read the book. It's like, I don't need to read the entire chapter to know it's described improperly, because there are actually rock characters in Star Wars, in the EU and other stories and comics. So it's been done before.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I know stories that have this pattern. I've read them before. I've watched shows, and I'm trying to explain this to them. So what he's doing is trying to prevent that commenter from saying, oh, well, this is just my take. So they're free to say, oh, well, it's not a big deal, but I can watch the colorful scenes and video and audio of this video and still give it a thumbs up and still like the author for his shit ideas and bad opinions. So he's protecting himself from all these commenters. And then you get the actual people who are paying attention, saying, dude, you're not saying anything. You're not giving us a solid opinion. You're just saying, I don't like things I don't like. That's not helpful. That's not an argument. You're wasting everyone's time. You are failing as an opinion maker, whatever you want to call him. I don't even know what he does on YouTube anymore. He just has random videos.
Rants like that. I looked up his channel, and all he does is like 10-minute videos of like recent media, and that's it. He doesn't even try anymore.
So that's his defense. That's what I think it is, because I'm not that big. I get those guys, maybe 4 or 5 times a video, and then I'll do my best to reply. In some cases, it just defaults to I just hate women, or I just don't get it or something. I'm like, where are you getting? How are you coming to this conclusion? So this is what he's doing. Anyway, it's not a big deal. Let's keep going.
That's great. It's not a bad series. Just don't be surprised that some people don't like it. It's not a perfect series. And yeah, I think a lot of the wacky inconsistencies are part of the charm. But that charm just doesn't work on everybody. For me, JoJo's was like a bad X. There was excitement in the beginning of the relationship, and there was a period of time where I thought I was in love, but things just grew sour for me, and I started to notice some traits.
What does this sound exactly like? Patrick explaining episode 8 and then episode 9.
So I agree with him to an extent of, it just kind of falls flat for me because I do put a lot of value into consistency in writing. But I totally recognize that it's absurd and over the top, and it's outstanding in that aspect. I just have actual points that I can bring up to explain why it's a bad show.
In this few hours, you gave like a better criticism of Jojo than him.
Yeah.
He never a single time did he like punctuate why he doesn't like.
Because all it takes is one bad scene or one bad element which breaks lore, continuity, or whatever in the past, or believability. And then once that happens, there's no point in continuing. And that does occur with some games, with some movies, with some animes. And that's fine. It's totally understandable. And some people just don't like a certain trope. It's like, oh, it's the big titty elf girl again. Here we go. Or whatever. So these things happen a lot. And it's just the pattern or the unbelievability of a scene. So that's totally fine.
I still simp for Lisa. It's okay. Chat, don't crucify me. Just because I don't like Berserk doesn't mean I think it's bad.
So am I ever going to go and read part 7? I don't know. Maybe. It's possible, but...
yes. What a nothing fucking...
I will say that every time you guys tell me to read it, I push it back by another year.
That is such a fucking childish fucking...
Okay. Great video.
Such a childish fucking attitude.
Wow.
Fuck you, Leo Long, Graham Gillard, Mike Stone, Connor Boyce, Jack Powell, Cody Akers for fucking funding this garbage.
But you told me to watch it. I'm not gonna watch it.
You fund this garbage.
What? I don't like long shonens. Also him, One Piece.
People recommend me stuff too much, and so I'm just not gonna watch it. I hate that attitude of the fans have ruined it, or people have overhyped it, or people like, dude, just can you not just is it that hard to just go, okay, people have recommended it, but I'm just gonna try to watch it without thinking about that. Just give it a try. Just give it a try. Do you have to? do you have to? I don't like this.
Eventually,
this idea.
Marcus stopped thinking. What the fuck? Yo, Flying Pilgrim, but they were consistent with part 1 in that respect. They screw it up later, but not there. Yes, they do. They absolutely fuck up in part 1. In the same episode that Hamon is introduced. They already break consistency.
Which part?
Oh wait, it's the next episode that Hamon, after Hamon is introduced.
But
The fucking leaves.
Fight, right?
The leaves. Yeah, in part 1, the leaf hang glider.
Yeah, because
How the fuck does that translate? How the fuck does that translate
because
to how
leaves,
Hamon is set up?
right? So because leaves get their power from the sun, and Hamon is like the power of the sun, which is why it kills vampires. So clearly, Hamon and
Can
leaves
hang gliders
have
out
a
of
connection that can be manipulated with
Oh
Hamon.
my god, it all makes sense. All right, fine. Let me point to the biggest. Let me just bring up the biggest one. Let me point to the biggest one that you cannot counter. Hamon at no point is shown to be able to puppeteer vampire corpse bodies. So holding on to the piston of the steamboat to make it blow up is retarded and poorly written, and thus Jonathan Joestar's death is contrived.
What's more contrived is Dio getting onto his body.
Yes.
That's more contrived because it's like how he should be burned up. His whole body should be like completely burned up.
Yeah.
And Dio was in the cough. Like Dio as a head was like completely like there was no way that it could have happened. He was so it's yeah. So
how did even Arena escape? Because
Hamon
Arena
works with putting energy into organic materials. Then how the fuck did you punch through a frog?
because he transferred the energy, bro.
Obviously,
Bro, bro.
just it's okay, chat. It's okay. Hamon is inconsistent. It's okay. You can admit it.
I think it's just so vague, as it's such an open-ended
It's not really.
definition.
It's defined pretty well in the episode that it's introduced.
Yeah, in one episode. I mean, it's not like
In the
it's had this
episode that
long
it is
history.
established, it is defined. You can define it more as time goes on, but you can't just pull powers out of your ass like Jojo does. Am I wrong?
No, I think you can because it's.
You can't.
I don't think it's.
Force
I don't
healing
think
is
it's
good
defined.
in
I don't think it's
Star Wars: The Rise of
defined that
Skywalker.
clearly.
You're right. Force healing was really established in Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker.
No, Star Wars has a long history of it working a certain way and not doing.
They can pull it out of their ass. The Force can do anything. It's vague.
Jojo doesn't have this sort of long it's always been like this kind of thing, So it's not like it's being inconsistent with a whole big, massively long established lore.
I gotta stop you there, man, because you just said that you can pull powers out of your ass.
I said it's open ended. It's open ended.
No, it's not.
The way it's defined.
It's not.
Yes,
It's
it
not.
is. Yes, it is.
It's defined pretty well.
It's
defined pretty
it
well
is
in that
open
episode.
ended. It is very open ended.
It's not.
It is
literally
very
not.
open-ended. It is. It literally is, though.
It's not, dude.
It literally is.
Can somebody pull up the script for Hamon Machine's son? just saw that in the chat. Hamon machine son. Oh, let's pull up the script for.
Oh dear.
Zeppeli.
Zeppeli. I love Zeppeli.
I don't even know how does Zeppeli define Hamon?
Zeppoli. It's an Italian donut.
Zeppeli.
Zippily.
Hamon.
Or they pronounce Zeppeli, but Zeppeli.
Caesar Antonio Zeppeli. Oh wait, no, wrong Zeppeli.
Donuts.
Donut.
One of the best donuts I've ever had, actually. An Italian donut. Yeah, pretty amazing.
Yeah, really good.
I'm on his wiki page right now, so I'm trying to figure out like what he says specifically.
What Zeppeli?
Mm-hmm. What Zeppeli says specifically about Hamon when it is set up as a master of the Ripple. Ripple.
Yeah, Ripple is the translation for the Hamon.
Of Hamon.
I guess I could pull up the. Well,
I'm now looking at pictures of donuts. Oh man, I missed these things. They're so well. I guess I can still find them at certain grocery stores, but they're not.
The
same.
ripple is an energy identical to the sun's rays, which the human body can produce through controlled breathing, having the effect of producing ripples of energy propagating from the bloodstream to the rest of the body and to other objects in contact with it.
Oh, you mean the bomboloni? Is that the Italian donut?
Bomboloni. I don't.
Or
I am trying to find
Zeppole?
where he actually defines it in that episode.
Yeah, there's only a few that I know. Zeppeli's one, tiramisu's another. Cannoli is pretty well known.
Yeah, those.
There's a bunch of cookies and biscottis that have specific names I don't know the names of, but once you see them, you're like, oh, yeah, it's an almond biscuit or some sort of shortbread thing. Whenever you get those weird party platters from a wedding, that's usually Italian platters of desserts.
How do Italians even survive with this much dessert?
How do they survive? I don't know. I think it's just wine. They're just constantly
It
drinking
is
wine.
just like sugar overdose.
Yeah, you just,
Matthias, I know you just messaged me, but for some reason, your chat box is not loading. I don't know why. Every other chat box on Discord is loading for me.
all right. Well,
Oh, wait, here we go. Zeppeli awakens Hamon inside Jojo. I'm going to put this into Watch Together.
okay.
No. I don't want to add it to my bookmarks. Firefox, go fuck yourself. God, Firefox sucks.
You hit Control D? It should be.
I'm pretty sure I did not hit Control D, but all right. So not to see where he defines it, but oh wait, Zeppeli hits a frog. Matthias just sent this.
Just want to remind you that is the voice actor who plays Yu Murakami in Persona 4.
Oh my god, I
Episode 4.
I love part 1 of JoJo, but oh goodness. All right, let's see. Copy paste.
Oh
Japanese.
no! So that was what, season 1? That was like
Episode 4.
Yeah, this is nothing compared to how crazy it gets.
Yeah. It's so good.
So,
Okay.
I just love how he jumped up from that, I don't know, fence with his hands.
He just jumps off the wall.
with his hands, his legs are still folded. It's like,
so fucking
so powerful. Like,
yeah, it's
I
great.
can lift this rock with no problem at all. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I love this. This is fantastic.
My real target was Geode, the rock.
Geode. Oh no.
But knowing that you're an intelligent man, I could not strike the rock in front of you.
Froggy, F this, I'm out.
Literally all JoJo fights are just the fucking like the poison thing.
Oh my god, what is this dubbed?
Okay,
I
we're
don't know,
done.
more
We're
dub,
done.
my ears
We're
zagged.
done. We're done. That's enough.
shut.
We're good. We're good for the evening, guys. It's 3 hours too much. All right.
It's never 3 hours too much for JoJo.
Yeah, I know. Until you get strike down for copyright, and then you have to deal with that later.
Oh no. Oh no.
So yeah, that was the dub, which is actually not bad. I never saw that the dub before because I watched the.
Yeah, dub's good.
Yeah,
Told you.
not bad. But that's Yu Murakami from Persona 4. Like that voice never goes away. So if you want a real Chad character in your anime watching, whether it's the animation or the actual game, here's the man. So okay, I think we're done. That was enough for one evening, guys. Crazy opinions about anime and actual anime itself. So that's not enough to get you to watch JoJo. Don't worry, it gets crazier. So don't be
What
shy.
the hell is wrong with his legs? He's got fucking tree trunks for legs. What do you want?
Look at his upper body.
Look at this man.
The problem, what's wrong with his legs is that you didn't go to leg day. You didn't do leg day, sir.
For 8
Sir
hours a day.
commenter, sir.
Yeah, JoJo does not skip leg day.
He does not skip every day's
His
leg
life
day.
is leg day. Yeah, it's just every day.
Life is leg day.
Gets
Life
up,
is just
runs.
one long.
No
leg.
way, this dub is horrible. Shut the fuck up. God, you're bunch of fucking prissy little
This
babies.
is a lot better than I expected, honestly.
Yeah, it's good.
Prissy little babies. Oh, it's not in sub. The Japanese is better.
Well, it is, but
I'm gonna cry about it on the forums.
we don't have forums, thankfully. Actually, we do. We never use them, though.
Well, we do. It's called the Discord. I'm gonna go cry about this on the Discord.
I did actually set up a forum, but no one was using it, so it's no big deal. Anyway. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Boy, that was Cosmonaut. We do him, once every few months.
We don't do him. Nobody does him.
Well, we try to.
We cover him.
We try to cover. We couldn't even get through half of that crap. My God.
We
Yeah,
tried
that
to make
was-
sense of him.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta yabba dabba do, you know?
Yeah. Anyway, good evening, folks. Thanks for tuning in. See you tomorrow. And who knows what we're doing tomorrow? I don't even know what's on the list. But keep the voting coming. Keep the voting and the suggestions going as well. Good night, folks.
Anime